Like, what is it that Shree Cooper hasn't done that I can say he should do to say he's done it all?
He won that championship. That was it.
Everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot of assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Basketball.
So why is it that when I watch Wild and Odom, did I feel like he's the best player? Every time I watch the Wild and Odom play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. Said that for a long time. BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again. It's the Love of the Game podcast. We're in the building. We here. It is Thursday, May the 28th. This is episode 22 of season 2.
Been that many?
I think so. And normally I try to start off the podcast being funny and all that shit, but I don't feel funny. So we're gonna try to get into it anyway. Lot got jokes though.
Hey man, hey, did you hug your barber after you got your haircut? Did you give him a big hug?
Extra tip,
and a tip?
We exchanged pleasantries, man. We did. We exchanged.
He was happy to see you.
Hey, Locke, who washing your clothes, bro? Locke came in with the crispy,
right?
The crispy button up. Yeah, we need to know what's going on, Locke. What's happening?
He taking up to the cleaner.
I always see you wear your collar shirt, but you don't never hear yours button all the way up because you ain't got no neck. So I decided to wear a collar shirt today.
Hey, Locke, you're glowing.
He must have a girl.
I'm off tomorrow.
Oh yeah, he is off. Yeah, every time he's off, he's always extra happy.
Yeah, that's an extra. You know what I mean? I feel like there's new vibes. Like Huff is not flexing on us on the patio. Like there's new things going on, Coach. We develop these patterns, right? And then everybody changes the pattern. Lock his wrinkled T-shirt. Huff is outside on the patio, and now everybody decided to change it up the day you came, man. I don't know what's going on.
They brought the A game. I respect that.
There you go.
I don't know if that helps us or not. We'll see. But as always, man, no suckers in our circle. Y'all know how we get down. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what this is about. We're trying to restore the feeling. We're trying to restore the vibe. 805 Pride.
What's
the
good?
Former state champion, future state champion, Huff in the building.
What's good, man?
Mr.
I ain't gonna mess with you, Brian. Go ahead. Trust the process. My homeboy from Creek.
Nah. We're gonna switch it up today. We're gonna switch it up.
What we going with today, Bryce?
Mr. Don't check my DMs, something like that. Mr. Steal your girl or something.
True.
Who girl are you stealing?
Here we go.
Hey, normally this is how we end the podcast. This is how we start the podcast. Okay.
My mom was like the other day. I was like, do you ever go out with Locke? I'm like, where you been? This whole the JR Crickets to get wings for months and months. Like, where have you?
That's fact.
Oh yeah, we was going out after every game.
Yeah.
Worst wings I've ever had was
those
with
wings. Super
season.
Horrible.
I don't know if Claude agrees with y'all.
Those wings were really bad. And the one that we went to, I don't know if I can't condemn every JR Cricket's restaurant, but the one we went to, those were
JR Cricket's usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Off no that.
Monjeri, you remember that old dude from the beat up Bryce?
Hey,
they didn't want to get out the way.
I mean, who was in the way? Like, dude, you're mad at me because you're in the way. Like, you need to go home. It's past your bedtime anyway.
Bryce, she's about to get knocked out, but I had you.
You think that dude was gonna hit me up?
Hey, Locke was gonna laugh.
I was gonna laugh first. I want to see how Bryce react.
I sat there and ate my food. Like, I wasn't worried about him.
And then if I'd have saw Bryce struggling, then I would have just broke it up.
I don't know why I mean, the dude was about Huff size, so you're right.
I don't know what that means, bro. Nah, he was good though.
He was huge. But he was older though. He had to be like 60 years old, dude. Come on.
But that brings up a good question for Coach, man. Let's get these Lock in the building. What's good, bro?
Yo, Ox way is the only way.
I got a good question. We getting right to the shit, Coach. No suckers in our circle. We always bring people the best interviews, the best. This is the best basketball podcast in America, so everybody understands what it is. We are here with Tulane assistant Claude Pardue. What's good?
Man, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. I know everything y'all do, man. I follow y'all. I see the little film clips when I can't catch a whole episode. Wish I was in the studio with y'all, man, but we're going to settle for a little video conference. But yeah, I know, man. Y'all get real. Y'all, I love the conversation, man, what y'all bring to the Atlanta community and Georgia as a whole. So it's going to be fun.
No doubt. And since we usually try to ease people into this thing that we do, but since you feel like family, you feel like
jump in, baby. Let's go.
We're gonna get right to it. Coach, if you're out with your staff and you see one of the assistant coaches about to get knocked out, is the rule that everybody fights, or do y'all try to pull them away from the conversation? What happens, Coach? Fill me in.
Man, see, with the staff, we got to pull them away, make sure he's thinking right, man. It can't be worth it. It ain't worth it. You got to pull them away. Get them out of it.
Have you ever been somewhere with a friend and you felt like they was about to get snuffed?
I mean, we all been in that situation. Yeah, we all been in that. The good thing is I hadn't been with Huff when I think he about to get it. Everything when we go out, man, it's a good time. So
not a bodyguard with you, man. At all times.
No doubt. Hey, man, I felt like that Locke was just gonna laugh. Bryce, I was gonna help you, bro.
Hey, bro, ain't no way that dude that was 60 years old was gonna give me the business. Y'all lost y'all mind.
I don't know, man. He had that look in his eye.
He did have that look in his eye. He did. Right.
Y'all ever seen somebody that look like their hands is heavy? Like, you know what I'm saying? You ever seen them heavy-handed people, like construction worker hand people, Bryce, like that?
Yeah. Ooh, but I wasn't. I mean, look, man. I turned away and kept eating my food. Man, I was not.
This was in a JR Crickets.
This was in the JR Crickets.
In the JR Crickets, bro.
It was mad.
How can anybody be that mad in the JR Crickets to actually? You eating the best wings, like you can't be mad.
Hey, so funny story about why that dude was mad though.
Why?
We were in the worst location for a JR Crickets, which was also Bryce's fault, by the way.
It was packed. We
just so happened to be at JR Crickets the day that the entire motherboard from somebody's church was celebrating the anniversary. Like, I don't know what was going on. But
it was packed.
It was like the old lady church hats type of crowd. Like, I don't understand what was going on. Normally, JR Crickets is music blasting, like it's a good time. It's like a happy hour type of feel.
Yeah, y'all in the wrong JR Crickets, man.
He was
the one that used to be downtown, and it definitely is not the one that's in Southwest Atlanta.
He was just mad because he felt like, like he's an older dude. You know what I'm saying? He felt threatened because we was gonna take his girl or something like that. That's what it came down.
One of the people on the motherboard?
Nah, it was still women in there. Nah, it was still women.
Hey, Huff, I left really early, but it was women in there that had the church hat with the little lace work. That's when I left. I was like, nah, man, like not even like I'm out there like that. But that wasn't. If I'm gonna be out, I'm not gonna be out while that's going on, dog. I'm not gonna be out.
I was in there vibing.
Hey, man, somebody in here speaking my language, bro. You cannot
best wings in the land.
and invite me to have wings and think that I'm not gonna pull up. Like, do you realize how fat I am?
Have you had those wings?
No, I didn't
Best
get
wings in the land. What Mr. Gaines said when we go down there for the On the Radar events, we always eat at Bethune-Cookman Grill. That's the only place we eat at.
You know, Mr.
Every
Gaines?
time.
So wait a minute. Locke had me go get his lunch while we was in Daytona. Locke did not mention this wing spot to me. Why, Locke?
The food wasn't there yet, and I was hungry.
I just want to know why Locke don't love me like that, bro. Like, why y'all look out
Have
for
you
me?
noticed that? Have you noticed that all new people that get in that want to be in the basketball world, AAU, whatever, high school, Locke feels like he has to like haze them up. You never.
He do. Hey, coach, this is
He never hazed
I
me.
never hazed you, coach. This is a safe place. You can talk to us.
No. See, Locke, all he doing is taking them under his wing, man, showing them on the road. It's like, man, let's take him in, man. He the first guy reaching out to him, man. No, but look.
That might be what it is.
Munger, you got to think, man. I was letting you in the hospitality room when nobody was inviting you.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Hey, who was at Norcross? They was like, who was Munger? I'm like, he was me.
That's real talk. Real talk. I would not have eaten that day if it wasn't for you. And they had good plates in there too while we playing. But coach, you over at Tulane now.
Mm-hmm.
You've been on this ride every year since for the last 8 seasons.
Yep.
With Coach Hunter. I know you've had a million people ask you about that experience and the ride that y'all took in the NCAA tournament, but please take us behind the scenes. We'll get to Tulane for sure, but
let's run it back to the times in the
80s. Yeah. Like, let's lead up to that point, man. You know, the world was introduced to you guys when Coach Hunter fell out of that chair, but you were there that whole way, man. Kind of bring us up to speed on coming on staff and developing in that initial crew.
Yeah, so I was with Tim Floyd at the time out at UTEP, and Floyd had just got the job in El Paso at UTEP, and so I worked 1 year with him. But then Hunter got the job after 1 year from me at UTEP. Hunter got the job at Georgia State. And when he got the job, his whole staff stayed at IUPUI because his assistant got promoted. And then one of his other assistants, you know, everybody stayed. They got promoted. So Hunter came to Georgia State with, you know, not really spending much time in Georgia, not being in Atlanta. And so I had been at Georgia State as a grad assistant a couple years before. So I had a pretty good network of high school guys running those team camps at the time. And then Darryl LeBerry came on with us. And, you know, he was at Georgia Tech with Paul Hewitt before then. So Hunter hired us and hired Everett Sullivan, who's the head coach at Lenoir-Rhyne now. So the three of us on staff and the four of us stayed together for 5 years before LeBerry went back to Tech and Sully got the head job at Lenoir-Rhyne. But that 5 years, you know, we were just building. We were just working. We were, man, that's when I got to know Huff real well, just because we were working the trenches at the time. And it's the same time he was building up St. Francis. And, man, like you said, we always had Coach Hunter's unbelievable to work for. And y'all can see it, you know, in some of the stuff he does. And, you know, you mentioned falling out the chair, and that was a genuine mistake. But at the same time, that showed how genuinely excited he was. Yep. Man, our whole thing is, man, let's have fun doing this. Man, if y'all come around the program, y'all show up for, you know, our team camp used to have everybody in the whole Georgia basketball circle just in the like, our whole deal, let's just have a lot of fun. So we want to create this atmosphere. Now we compete, we get after it, man. We work, you know, we all over the place. But man, at the end of the day, man, we playing basketball, and we're all like connected, right? So everybody knows man, look, it's a big family. Like, let's just have some fun. So, man, you know, behind the scenes, what you seeing out there, we doing a lot of the same stuff behind the scenes. Now we're working like everybody else is working. We having these conversations, but trying to strategize and, you know, all that stuff. But, man, at the end of the day, we just trying to enjoy ourselves and have fun. I think that's what you see reflected, you know, in our NCAA tournament runs. We ended up going to 3 NCAA tournaments in a 5-year period. You know, we worked those first years, and then we went with RJ, and then we went with RJ, and that was such a good deal. But we had to reload, and so we reloaded and got guys. You know, I mean, we just built that team with all Georgia guys. It was Devin Mitchell from Collins Hill and DeMarcus Simons from Gainesville, Malik Ben-Levy from Savannah. I mean, we had Kane Williams at South Paulding, Damon Wilson, all Georgia guys, and you know, we just built the thing the second time. And the second time we went to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. You know, we took a year off and then went back-to-back. So, man, it became easier to recruit because, you know, Hunter created such an incredible environment and this culture of just, man, enjoy yourself, man. Let's play, let's compete, let's have fun. But we're going to have fun playing basketball and winning games. At the end of the day, it reflected on the court and how we played.
I definitely agree. And I'm going to get to some, as we say, we're going to get to the shit. We're going to get to the, you know, the uncomfortableness of some of that in a second. But I remember going to watch you guys play an exhibition game with Ryan Harrow, Kevin Ware, and I think RJ. And I'm sitting there with my son, and I think you guys were playing like Georgia Highlands or Georgia College or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was telling my son, like, this is a Sweet 16 team. Like, to me, you could see it early. Like, that type of ability to shoot it, to handle the ball, to, you know what I mean? You had too many guys that were too versatile that could really play. What was it like being with those guys day in and day out?
See, we went, like you said, we had the year before that, we had Manny Atkins and Devontae White on that team too. We were loaded. We went 17-1 in league play, and we lost in overtime of a conference championship game to Alfred Payton, who was a lottery pick. So we, you know, he was playing for Louisiana Lafayette, but we swept them that year. We went 17-1, and in a one big league, you lose that one game, you end up in the NIT. But then that next year coming back, you know, man, that year, man, they had an unbelievable mindset. Like we were not going to make the NCAA tournament that year. Like we lost in overtime, and Ryan Harrow and RJ were coming back, and they just said, we gonna win the championship. And we won the regular season the next year. RJ banged up. I mean, the dude, I mean, he carried us through the year, but Harrow carried us. Like those two guys took on such a load, and it was just because they were competing. Like we were going to go to the NCAA tournament. Like there was no plan B. There was no other outcome. And man, when they fought those two dudes, and then Kevin Ware, that was his first year with us. So he went with us the year before. He was trying to, you know, find his way with those guys. And he hadn't played basketball in a year and a half because of his leg. So he's trying to find his way. But man, the lift that he gave us. But you had guys like Ryan Green from Banneker, who was a walk-on, who ended up starting for us when Ryan Harrow was out. You know, Harrow battled a hamstring injury all year, so he couldn't play. He missed like 9 games that year. And you know, Isaiah Dennis was coming off the bench, Jordan Session, 2 Eagles Landing guys. So we just, man, those two, like you said, man, they just had, you know, you could see it early. They had that will, and like, man, we going to the tournament. Like that off season, unbelievable, more focused than I've ever been around any team, because they knew, like, man, we are going to the NCAA tournament, and that was it. Like we gonna work, and it was as much focus as, you know, we've ever seen. I think, Huff, you might have been on the bench in the championship game with Georgia Southern, right?
The worst championship game ever. 38-36.
We were going to win that game. It was an ugly one, man. You know, RJ scored like 35 the night before because Ryan Harrow didn't play. And RJ scored like 30-something the night before, and we won by 20. And then we showed up for y'all's game, and, man, we were dead because we just, you know, we played the day before. It was like 37-36 or something. We won by 1.
36. Both teams were dead. It was Kevin Ware carried y'all that game.
Yeah, he was.
Kevin Ware got y'all to the tournament.
Yep, because but at the end of in February that year, Kevin Ware just took off. Like he always showed little bursts, but man, in February he just he took off. He was great. And that's what helped us, really take that burst. But we beat Baylor. Yeah, we beat Baylor, and we were a 14 seed. We battled a lot of adversity with Harold's injury. RJ was banged up. RJ had a target on his back, man. They were fouling him, holding him every possession. And we got a 14 seed. We did the best we could. We beat Baylor, and then we lost to Xavier. I think we lost by 8 to Xavier in a good game, close game, but could have put us in the Sweet 16, like you said, Dre.
For sure. Guys are so talented, man. I think, and I feel like Kevin, who is on the show, he'll be on June 4th.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we're doing Kevin and Bernard Thompson from Florida Gulf Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Rockdale County guys.
Yep.
But I feel like he did the same thing at Louisville, but for different reasons, right? With you guys, he kind of peaked in February because that injury, like you said, and trying to find his way. With Louisville, when he was with Louisville, I feel like he did the same thing, like show flashes. But man, by the time we hit the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament, man, he was really excelling and peaking before that injury took place. But
now the next year, RJ left to go pro, first round draft pick the year, after we beat Baylor. That next year it was Kevin Ware's team, and he stepped up and he was great for us that year. I mean, that he just had to get through that injury and all that. But once he got through it, he hit a stride with us. He was great for us the senior year.
That's how it initially started for me, coming to watch y'all games to support Kevin. Being a Louisville guy like that, I just wanted to support him. But I just couldn't get past it for that first initial, for the initial part of the season. Every time he moved, every time he jumped, God forbid he fall down, it was like it was my kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I was holding my breath. I was like, I just wanted him to be all right. So I know that was.
And imagine being in practice, man. We were in practice, man, and something would happen. He would fall down and would be like, uh-oh. But then he would get back up smiling at everybody, be like, all right, we're good. Let's go.
If I had to guard him in practice, I would have been getting scored on probably because I'm not fouling. You know what I mean? Like I'm not fouling, but
sensitive, right? You got let me not.
Yeah. Some of those things you relive. Same thing. Paul George. Like every time I watch him play, it's like, yo, man, I just want this dude to be good.
Coach, what I loved about and to this day, me and you talk all the time. But what I loved about what you brought, and obviously what Coach Hunter brought, and whether it was Coach LeBerry, East Sully, which Dre hates, which Mondre hates me calling him, Sherman.
That's that man nickname. I'm gonna let him live.
Like all the guys you guys had on staff, man, you were always open to us as coaches to come watch. But I really liked how you guys developed guys who some people overlooked, whether it was Malik Ben Levy, whether it was Jordan Sessions, Isaiah Dennis. I can go down a list of guys who other guys said, oh, we don't want them. And you guys took them and you developed them. And shoot, they became players.
Yeah, I mean, I got this theory, and it's going. I don't know, man. And man, me and Locke, man, when we sit at Sean's events, we'll talk about guys just all out. But I got this thing that, man, winners develop, right? So like, if we watch kids who have won and who have been really good in high school, like if you go back and look at the top 20 kids in Georgia and really like look at the 2019 and the 2018-17 class and just look at, man, who are the winners, then you'll end up seeing those are the guys who develop. So, you mentioned Malik Ben Levy, and the kid just like, you could knock him in high school. Oh, he can't do this and he can't do this, but man, he wins. So then when he gets to college, you got no choice but to play him. And y'all know when you get in playing time, you developing. But then when you off the court, you just like you want to win. So you working on your game. I mean, DeMarcus Simons is an unbelievable winner. Like on the court, the dude, like he wants nothing more than to win. And he just developed. Like he got so much better. I mean, Kane Williams, Jordan Session, like these guys, like Jordan Session averaged a double-double in January and February for us through conference play his senior year and got us to an NCAA tournament. Like the kid just got, I mean, all he wanted, he was an Eagles landing, won 2 region titles, a state championship. Like Kane Williams dominated his region, won a region title, lost a heartbreaker in the tournament. But like you just take these winners, and what happens is they develop. So, I mean, I like to take all the credit, but if you look at the kids and really see who they are, and not just go for the guy that jumps the highest or the guy that can shoot the best, but like we just target the winners. And like knowing Georgia and talking to the high school coaches and the AAU coaches, my always first question is like, how bad does he want to win? Like, and then what's like, does it show? You know, does his AAU team win? Does his high school team win? Does his JV team win? So you can always, I think that's easier to target. And when you get winners, man, they develop.
And then you locked in the guys early. You know, I'm going to give you some credit. You ran that camp, and part of the reason we're running that summer team camp was so you could get looks at guys, you know, and that's why everybody came through the door. You know what I mean? From anybody from Savannah to Rome was in that gym during the summertime for Georgia State's team camp.
Yeah, we had all those guys I just listed. They played in our team camp. We saw them up close and personal. You know, we saw them, and we knew that what they were capable of. So it helped us for sure.
Y'all were definitely a team camp. You know, sometimes we as high school coaches, we go, oh, should we go to a team camp where the coaches even pay attention? Man, y'all were there watching on the court, like paying attention.
Man, usually you also seen our group text in the team camps be like, man, this kid, that kid, all over. and you try to get as many. Man, what it became, and I was thinking about this the other day, like, you know, this June, like without us doing camps, it's just not the same. And man, it always goes back. Our time at Georgia State, like the summer, the whole build up into those 2 team camps, the 2 weekends. I mean, we would have 60 plus teams come in, and we scheduled them. And we had matchups, and we had that tournament. Man, it was just an unbelievable. Like it was a lot of fun. Just kicking it in the gym from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. and just hanging out, just being around everybody because everybody just show up. It wasn't just the high school teams; it was the parents.
In there. Yeah.
I mean, it was high school players from other schools that would just come and hang out. Like, here, like guys we were recruiting, and just stop by team camp, hang out for the weekend. So it wasn't even like unofficial visit campus tours. It was like unofficial visit, just come out and kick it with us during team camp.
And that's one thing that I do like about Georgia basketball, period, with these guys, man. Like you'll see at a big game, like we did the live show at the South Cobb Pepperbrook game, and there was a lot of players in the gym, like guys just coming to watch basketball, man. Like dudes really, really on this hoop thing here. So,
man, I went to the Grayson Norcross playoff game, and man, everybody was there. It's like if you in Georgia got anything to do with basketball, like you're gonna be at that game. And so I felt it was at home for me. I walked in, I was like, man, I was talking to everybody. It was great. It wasn't just like Norcross on one side and Grayson on the other side. It was like there was a little pocket of Grayson, a little pocket of Norcross, and it was just the Atlanta basketball community came out and just showed love.
What people don't understand, I think sometimes who were not from Georgia, like our basketball events are like parties, low key.
Yeah. It's like a basketball convention.
It's a basketball convention. It's a DJ somewhere in the corner, and while everybody's playing, you got music, you got the food. Like it's a real live party. Like it's a real event.
Hey, some tournaments got sections.
They
got floor seats locked. They got
floor seats at McEachern. Yep.
Oh, it's definitely floor seats at McEachern. It's still a row at McEachern that I can't sit in. Locke can sit down, but
you just gotta walk down there, Monjere. Like I'm loving the game.
Yeah, you gotta act like you belong, man. You can't be walking around with a big camera, man. You can't have that big camera on.
I don't know, man. Never mind. I ain't going there. So we take that culture, man, that you guys established. I love that, coach, with talking about winners, because I do believe that we give a little too much credit to like guys that just come down and shoot shots and they don't necessarily win. So I like that you guys recruiting winners develop. But
you know, I got to shout out my man Sion James right now, though. If we talking about winners, let's go ahead and shout out who he signed and bringing out to New Orleans with us, because he one of Georgia's best winners in the 2020 class, and we're excited to have him
for sure.
You remember that text I sent you after we played him, Claude? And I said, man, he's the only dude I know at the free throw line after we made a comeback versus them that started telling his teammates at the free throw line, hey, we better pick this up right now. I'm looking around like, y'all hear that?
Yeah. We was just having this conversation about kids, and let's talk about this, I guess, in this forum. Have the fact that kids play so many games, has it dampened the spirit of some kids to win? Like when they know that there's another game tomorrow, has it been problematic because of that? Or because they know, hey, man, it's Tuesday night, but we got another game Friday night. Do they want to win as much as we did in our day? I hate to be the old guy, but
I think it depends on the season. I think
y'all keep calling me during the podcast. I'm gonna start answering the phone during the podcast.
Who is it?
I'm not gonna say. You know who it is. No, I'm not even gonna say it.
Hey, when you start calling him, tell me his food ready.
Hey, they'll drop it off at the front door. They don't come inside. Drop it off.
I got kids. I gotta go pick that up.
But I Mondre, to answer your question, I think it depends on the season. I think kids during the school year tend to value or want to win because you have a crowd watching you. You have your parents, so you have fans, you have people watching you. I think in AAU sometimes, and they see AAU, they try to play selfishly sometimes. So I think it depends. And I feel like if you can get your AAU team to win, that helps them out in the long run, especially if they're trying to get recruited. So I don't know.
And I say that because the conversation that I was having, we were talking about it, and I was like, well, if you hate to lose more than you just like to win, then it's going to push you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. Like, it's going to push you to be a little crazy about it. Instead of running 1 mile, I'm going to run 2. Instead of running 2 miles, I'm going to run 3. Instead of taking 500 shots today, I'm going to take 1,000, right? Because you don't want to lose. And I don't know if that losing stings for everybody like it used to, man.
But
I mean, everybody's not created equal either, Mondre.
That's true, but I kind of feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, that even in our time, like even if you weren't all that great, you still didn't want to lose. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was still the John Starks of the world. Like, man, you weren't. I mean, you're a great player, but you weren't like at that level. But you still didn't want to lose. Like you're gonna foul MJ because you don't want to lose. Are we there with this generation, or am I just being an old man? I feel like I'm being old right now.
My thing is, I think it's the individual kid. Like,
right.
I don't know if the number of games breeds a winner or a loser. Like, if there's a winner, right? Like, I watched. I mean, let's go back to Malik Benlevy, probably the best winner at Georgia State, right? He's a captain of back-to-back NCAA tournaments. It didn't matter if they played 10 pickup games a day in the summer. He wanted to win every single one. And I watched him with the Celtics, and I watched him at Jenkins. Like, it didn't matter how many games there were. He wanted to win them all. Like, if right. I think what happens is with the number of games, what you have is more kids participating, and more kids shouldn't be playing AAU basketball in the summer because they might not be good enough. But, like, I don't know if it – like, I still think you have the same number of winners. It's just – it's like all of our jobs. Let's do a better job of finding them and locating them. You know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
Maybe. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know.
Right. I feel like when I think we might have only lost 2 games in live period last summer. And I think that when I was able to get them to buy in, and I felt like that helped their recruitment. If we were losing games and getting waxed and ran off the floor and kids had bad body language, I don't think they would have, been as successful as they were. So,
well, Bryce, y'all got waxed y'all first summer now.
No, yeah, and agree, yeah, you're right. And the recruitment, I think, wasn't as good as the kids were last year.
Kids, are you saying because the winner or the players weren't just that good?
I mean, we had pretty good players the first year. We had Tay Watson, we had Marcus Foster, we had CJ.
He had to develop that culture within his AAU program.
That too.
That well, winning was more important than whatever offers they would get. And I think that's big. I think that's kind of what Claude was talking about. Like those kids, like Malik Benlevy, didn't matter whether he was playing for the Celtics or playing for Jenkins or playing for Georgia State. He wanted to win. And there are certain guys like that. Like you talk about a kid, and I know Claude might not want to talk, but DeJuan Odom is a kid who every time he steps on the floor, he wants to win.
I like that kid, man.
Yeah. So
special.
And I think what Club Orange is saying too, when we say only a few kids hate losing, and that is a big difference. Like, I feel like that is kind of a thing too. Like, I want to be around people who want to win. I do, but I do enjoy being around people who hate losing, because like when the room is uncomfortable a little bit after you lose, that next practice I feel like goes a little bit better. Like everybody's a little more locked in. Like, nah, we not about that. Like we take it that losing serious, man. So
but like just like going back, like Bryce, your team like 2 years ago, just because y'all were losing, that doesn't mean you didn't have like winners on the team. They could hate losing. Like we've lost games, like we lost this year, and we got dudes who want to win, so we'll be better next year because of it. Like they'll develop. So in 2 years, we'll be like you, like your second year with that group or those guys, you know, that seed had been planted, and so they were better. And just because you winning, don't mean you like or you're like more talented than everybody.
Yeah.
Right. There's some dudes out there who are just so talented, it don't matter who they gonna win. But that don't mean they got that like real chip on their shoulder and really want it and hate losing.
I mean, I think like Locke was saying, I mean, Locke knows the kids we had. Like that first year, we had a bunch of kids that wanted to shoot the ball. And honestly, it was hard for me to reel them in and realize that you're shooting too much and your percentages aren't what they should be. Whereas this year or last summer, I was able to. I didn't go back and forth with them. I sat them down, and there was no conversation. So for me, it was a learning period for me as well, or you know, it was learning for me as well. But I mean, like, yeah, it just depends, I guess.
No doubt. I agree, though. I think we're talking about wanting to win versus hating to lose. I agree, Coach Rideout. It's two different things. I guess we're talking about preference, man. Give me the kid that just hates losing. Like, give me that kid, man. But I agree. I think they both lead to the same thing. So, Coach, you guys, I'm gonna ask the uncomfortable question. I cannot believe that Georgia State wasn't backing up the Brinks truck.
Yeah, big facts.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love the coaching staff at Georgia State right now. Great guys. Not saying anything negative about those guys. But at the time, right, you guys had established something for that.
Keep it real. Don't say establish something. I remember the tweet or whatever that came out that said how many wins they had over any other Division I program in the state.
Yes. I mean, that run.
Huff, I don't know if there was a billboard.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
There was a billboard on the interstate. So
that's a run of dominance. That like, so what the hell, man? How did we lose a great staff to New Orleans? No shots against New Orleans, no problems. I don't want no issues. I don't want to fight. But we lost a great staff that was dominant to another city. Coach, what happened?
The current staff at Georgia State, I mean, Coach Lanier, Warren, like, hey, Kreider, I know I'm all friends with all of them. They're gonna do a great job, and like, they're close friends. They're gonna be great. They take care of them kids. They develop them. They're gonna win too.
100%.
The Tulane is a great situation. Tulane's a great setup for us and for Coach Hunter at the time. And I mean, for me too, the move, it came at the right time. It just, it worked out well for us. They wanted us here. They did some, I mean, they treat us unbelievable. We couldn't be happier in the situation. And it's a challenge too. Like, you go through a situation where, I mean, we had it going, like, and like Huff jokes about it, but like I mean, the billboard was big. That, you know, the wins in the state, like everything we had set up, and we missed it dearly. We talk about it all the time, but like y'all know how it is, man. Huff, you do this thing, like St. Francis, like you get to a point where you're like, man, let me get a new challenge.
That Brinks truck.
He had, but same, yeah.
I've seen a couple of Brinks trucks that hit that.
But you could have stayed at St. Francis for a long time too, and won a couple more state titles because they won 2 or 3 since you've been gone. So, I mean, you get to a point, you know, you want the next challenge. You know, you get a little antsy. You want to, you know, you want something new. So I think, you know, the timing and how it all happened, there's no ill feelings, man. The administration at Georgia State's been good, and yeah, I mean, it just worked out. We on for this next challenge.
Hey, you can't hold me responsible for what the guys in the live chat are saying.
They tell you.
But we're gonna let them get it off. We're gonna get so basically what we're saying is that you did not spot a Brinks truck. You cannot confirm there was one on campus, but you did not see a Brinks truck before you left.
I can't confirm nor deny anything. we was in the NCAA tournament. We were in the NCAA tournament. We were winning games. We did our thing, and you know, Tulane came in and you know, swept us off our feet.
No doubt. So now
I'm gonna take you off the Brinks truck for a minute, so I know Mondre will stay on it for a minute with the Brinks truck.
Hey, I was gonna let it go. But go ahead, Huff.
I want to kind of talk about you had some guys that some people could say could be tough to coach. Not in a bad way, just DeMarcus, Ryan. How was Coach Hunter and the staff able to coach guys like them and get them all bought in to what y'all were doing?
Okay, so we do a lot of, and you know, it helps that there's a lot to that, really, Huff. So you're gonna get me going from everybody. Go ahead and get comfy. But you got in Georgia, man. Like we talked about that Grayson Norcross game. Everybody knows those kids, right? Like in Georgia, it's amazing because there's such a community. Like it takes a village, right, to raise a kid. It takes this whole basketball community to raise this program, to raise Georgia basketball as a whole. And it's cool because, you know, in our situation, we can call all these coaches that they played against, and like, you know, you get feedback from everybody, and so you get these like character evaluations. Man, we go in deep on who they are as people and what makes them go and what motivates them. And so the thing is, we weren't taking bad kids, and we just took some like competitors. Like they're not hard to coach. They're hard for some people to coach. If you got an ego, then it's going to clash. But once you start understanding the kids, and DeMarcus Simons is an incredible guy. Like he is great to be around. His teammates loved him. Like he would rather have 10 assists before 20 points. And it had nothing to, like in practice, like he's great to be around, and it has nothing to do. I mean, he gets competitive. And so you see him on the court, and there'll be some people like, you know, make their judgments about it. But man, what we saw was that fire. And what we saw was, you know, Benji up at Gainesville, Whiteheart, you know, the heat check. We saw the Waltons with Atlanta Express, like all, you know, he played with the Celtics one summer. You start calling all these people, and that, you know, you got relationships to where they can give it to you real. Like, man, Benji loves the guy. Coach Graham, who's at Gainesville now. Like, it's so once you really start looking at the kids, they not tough to coach. You just got you just learning new people and dealing with people. And Coach Hunter does a great job of pushing them, but we surround them. I mean, all those, you know, all the staff. Coach White worked with us a couple years, man. He was great with the guy. Everybody's great with the guys. And man, once you all realize, man, we all in this together. We all trying to win games. And if you taking the kids, and I'll mention this again, if you take kids who are about winning basketball games, then they're not going to do anything to mess with that. Now, if you start taking selfish kids, which we didn't have, and you start taking kids that worry about their social media presence more than they are about what, their product on the court. Those are the kids that are tough. Those are the kids that are tough to coach, because then they're not worried about winning games. And then what happens is as a coach, you trying to go in one direction and they trying to go in the other. And those are the ones that don't mix. So we never had, we had some fierce competitors, but they not hard to coach for us. So that I think it's different in how the perception of certain players are. But everybody, if you got a chip on your shoulder, you're going to be fiery at times. And we cool with that. We love it. That's
what made y'all practices so good.
Yeah, you came to a couple practices. You saw how we got up and down a lot in practice. And part of it was, let's go 5-on-5, man. Let's see them compete. And, if they go back and forth, that's fine. We encourage it, man. We breed that. So
dogs.
we wanted dogs. We keep talking about these kids we coach because, Kane Williams, he came in. He was a young guy, and all these guys, Devin Mitchell, he was league play, he was all league, and DeMarcus was league player of the year. And we had another guard, and Kane wasn't starting. Man, we had a pro day. Man, Kane just dominated. He was all right, let's go. Let's go. And I'm what you had was, then you had Damon Wilson come in, and he's okay, this is what we about. I'm about to take over. And so we had 5 guards, because even Nelson Phillips, all these guys kept coming in, and just guard after guard, man, they would just compete. And so every day in practice, rising tide lifts all boats, man. They just kept getting better and better. We had 8-9 guys. Our last 2 years at Georgia State, we had 9 guys who could start for any team in the league. So, but it was because they helped each other get better.
Y'all did a great job of, number one, building a relationship with kids, so you could get them in case their first situation didn't work out, but then getting them to sit a year to understand that culture they were doing. Like you're talking about Damian Wilson. He was able to sit a year to understand that culture. Devin Mitchell, same way. I think that's huge too. Yep.
Yeah, Devin sat out a year and cooked us every day in practice. And we're like, man, come on. And Damon Wilson sat out a year, and he wanted to guard Devin and DeMarcus every day. Man, let's go. I got him every day. And it's like, man, you gonna wear yourself out trying to chase these cats around. He was going at him every day, man. He's a big part of the reason why we went to the NCAA tournament. So they just got each other better, man, and they understood what it was about. What was cool is it was bigger than any one of those guys, but at the same time, each one of those guys is what made it so special. So, Georgia State basketball was bigger than any one player, and I think they understood that. When they sat out, they saw it firsthand.
So, Coach, you take that that same philosophy about winners and how you guys develop and how you guys handle your culture, and you take that to Tulane. What is that first practice like, Coach? That first workout, the first couple workouts in the summer, you with new guys. What is that like for those guys?
Well, we had a couple workouts, individuals early, but we actually signed 9 new guys last year. So we only had 4 returners. And so the first you had the 4 guys who came back, and then you had 9 new guys. So people trying to learn each other, people trying to figure each other out. And
we got a whole new basketball team.
Whole new team. And the 4 guys who are returner, they're so used to what has been done here in the past.
For sure.
They're new to it. We just come in, and the great thing about this one was when Hunter, when I mentioned when Hunter went IUPOI to Georgia State, he didn't have anybody with him. So we were trying to learn everything too. Me and LeBerry and Sully are sitting there man, what you got? I don't know what we doing. What drill you gonna do? Because I don't know. So, but when we came here, everybody came. So we all came, and so we knew what culture we needed to bring and to have. And I think what surprised everybody here the most, and it all starts with Coach Hunter and his energy and outgoing personality and what he brings every day. And so we can follow behind that. But, man, we encourage it from everybody. And I think probably the first week of practice. I mean, Huff, you've been to practice before. I think what shocked even our players was how loud it was and how loud we expected it to be. I mean, we like when you walk in our gym, you probably ain't gonna hear shoes squeaking because we gonna be talking. There's gonna be yelling. It ain't like yelling at each other. It's just gonna be loud. Players talking, managers, everybody. Just man, we all. I mean, it's just voices everywhere. We blasting music to start the day, so we already setting the volume level high. And then once that goes,
what y'all blasting, coach? What y'all blasting?
Hey, player's choice, whatever they tell me. But yeah, man, it just gets loud, man. And that's I mean, Huff, that probably surprised you when you came to our first practice a few years ago, man. You just loud in here. What's going on?
I know, because I know one of them it was like only me and a couple other coaches, and then obviously y'all used to do the coaching clinic one. But it was a good feeling, man, when you walked in there, you knew how open you guys were to everything that you guys did, man. And you know, that's why you always good with us, man. That's why Coach Hunter's always good with us.
So, Coach, you get them out there, and we talked about how tough your league was as well. You guys get them out there, and you're taking them through league play for the first time, and this is your first time getting into league play. Normally, when you play teams, I would assume over and over and over again, you used to being in a certain league that the scouting is probably a little bit easier. What was that whole process like for you guys as you're trying to get acquainted with a new team and you guys are trying to get acquainted with new opponents in a new league?
Yeah, so when we got the job at Georgia State, we were in the Colonial. So our first year there, it was like this year we had to scout everybody. And then a year later, we went in the Sun Belt. So we had to scout everybody new again. And so it kind of was like this. When you get in a new league, man, the film, you just got to understand every team, what they're trying to get done. And, of course, with the way we play defensively and offensively is different than a lot of teams want to play. We play small. We have no problem putting 5 shooters on the court and just hooping. But you got some film. I like it. Yeah, this is this might be the third conference game or the first conference game of the year. This is the first conference game of the year. We go to Memphis, and our league is no joke. We were 8-4 at the time. We had a pretty good non-conference record, but we hung tight. We went into Memphis, man. We played well, and but like you said, man, you turn around. We had never played Memphis before, so what I was saying was the way we play. We go back to last year's footage and the year before's footage just to see how that coach wants to attack, how we play offensively and defensively. Yeah. And, man, we go back and look, but we didn't have that resource this year. So the first time we play Memphis, the first time they're going to play anybody like us. So, you know, you're trying to pick up on things. Personnel means a lot, but, man, our league is loaded. Our league's talented. So,
yeah, we watched both those Memphis games, and I feel like you guys played them really well both times. To be
honest,
we
should have beat them at home. We lost in overtime at home. Well, it was a 3-point game with 2 minutes to go in this one at Memphis, and then we played them the last game of conference play, or the second to last game of conference play. So last weekend in February, we lost them in overtime. Had them, but yeah,
Coach, y'all lost a lot of close games this year, especially in conference. Am I right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that's just the newness of trying to learn everything. Obviously, the defense you guys play, but you could see the kind of turn too in conference play later in the season.
Yeah, I think so. We lost to Memphis in a close game at their place, and we had like put so much into our culture, so it meant so much to our players. After this game, our guys were so down. Like, I'll still remember this, and we're all sitting there like, it's the first game of conference play. Like, we got a whole conference season to go, and it was like they just lost in the conference tournament. And you know, it was fine because we bounced back. The next game we beat Cincinnati at home. Cincinnati was loaded, so they had, you know, conference player of the year returning. So we beat them. But it's every night, man. It's Wichita State, it's Memphis, it's Cincinnati, it's SMU, Central Florida, South Florida, UConn this year. They out the league now, but man, Temple. I mean, it was just every night, and it was a challenge, but we lost a lot of close games, but we kept saying like we doing, what we doing is right, but the margin between winning and losing, it's so small, but man, it's so big too. So like we just got to keep doing what we doing, and at some point it's going to change. It's really hard that first year though.
Yeah.
How much pressure did Coach Hunter put on y'all? If you know where I'm going with this, walking on Lake Pontchartrain.
Man, we want to win, and just as much as he does. So we always say, nobody puts more pressure on me than I put on myself. But yeah, he put that claim out there early, but he should have. I mean, everybody in this room right now would have said the same thing if a reporter kept asking us, "Y'all gonna finish last? Y'all gonna finish last?" Like, no, I'm not finishing last.
Right.
So that was his reaction, and it was a great quote. But yeah, he was. we got to be better next year.
No doubt. I think you guys certainly have a chance. And we talked about this with several coaches that have been on the show. Like you said, Coach, the line between winning and losing, you talking about, a 7-point ball game, a 10-point ball game. That's just a couple of possessions. One defensive blown assignment or a missed shot, man. You're talking about a difference between 6 points in a basketball game. How do you guys get the new guys? Is it just continuing to encourage them and repping it out, or how do you get those new guys, man, to understand those little things when it comes to being able to win a basketball game at that level?
Yeah, so experience is a big thing. There's no simulation for there's no cone drills, there's no shooting drills, there's no defensive slide drill, there's no practice. Experience is everything. And we talked about earlier at Georgia State with RJ and Ryan Harrow. That second year was when we went, because the first year, we dropped it in the conference championship game. So they came back with a vengeance. And then we built it up. So then the next time we went to the NCAA tournament, we had guys who had been in the system for 3 and 4. Jordan Session was the captain on the second NCAA tournament team. But man, he'd been in the program for 4 years, and DeMarcus had been 2 years, and Devin had been 3, Malik had been 3. So you get experience through winning, through losing. You just got to make sure you got the right kids, and if it really burns them, you can see if it I'm sure. Missing out on this summer is tough, but we're gonna get them back in July, and we'll be able to see, man. Who's content with how it happened last year and who wants to improve. And the guys who want to improve on it, man, they'll get better. And, experience is so much, man. Going through that experience and motivating them through, whatever workouts we can get done this summer and in the fall, that makes it better.
Coach, we got questions from the audience that asking about the program's identity and how long will transfers be a part of that program identity. I imagine forever. Transfer part of college basketball at this point. No.
Well, yeah, transfers is part of a lot of programs' identity now. But we had a situation. We had a situation where we've been in 2 unbelievable cities in Atlanta and New Orleans, so it's attractive for certain players to come. We just want to find whatever recipe works for us, right? So it's not that it's like our one way to do things, just the way that we found that worked at that school and at Georgia State, and the way that we found that we could get the better players in the first couple of years at Tulane, but that might change. We got two great freshmen coming in next year to Tulane, and more than half of our team at Georgia State every year we went to the NCAA tournament, we got as freshmen, and they were foundational pieces. Now, what you have is the notoriety that comes with a Ryan Harrow and a Kevin Ware and those guys, Manny Atkins. These guys are big Atlanta and Georgia names, and they transfer back. And even this year, we had KJ Lawson, who's a big name. And yeah. Hey
man, our studio audience, man, that's considered dry snitching, man. That's considered dry snitching. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop.
There you go.
Dollar Bill, we love you, bro.
No, we're gonna take transfers as long as they're working for us, but we're gonna take high school kids too. We got good high school kids coming in, and that's why we built the program at Georgia State. I mean, you look at the NCAA tournament teams, we had 8, 9 guys from high school, but we just made big splashes with the transfers we got.
I love it, Coach. I feel like y'all, when y'all decide that y'all want a kid, y'all go ahead and offer. There's no, you know what I mean? Like it's direct. Like, hey, we here.
Hey,
have you guys
don't post that up, Dollar? Dollar don't love us.
Wait for them tickets.
Yeah.
Hey, Dollar cares about us, man. Coach, last question. Have you found that other schools are waiting for you guys to offer before they offer? Are they watching? Are they screen watching you, Coach?
Man, I ain't even thought of that. You ain't saying nothing about Chad Dollar, are you? Nah, I don't, man. I don't know. Like, to be honest with you, like, it's interesting with the whole high school kids counting offers and doing all that. Like, we don't offer many kids. Like, we don't have many offers out for 2021. We've just offered a couple guys in the last couple of days, but we don't have many offers out in 2021. We kind of zero in on who we want. And man, I mean, feast or famine type, fault us if you want, but we go after guys, man. We build relationships. We put a fence around them, and we try to get, 1 out of every 3 guys we gonna offer. We don't need to we'll let the winning talk for itself. Like, we don't want the headline of offering kids. We want the headlines of winning games. And so we really don't offer until Coach Hunter watches them play. And then we all sit back and talk about them, and we talk about them in detail. So when we offer kids, it ain't just you'll rarely see a fake offer or you'll never see a fake offer from Tulane. And if y'all see stuff on Twitter about offer, it's something real coming from it. You ain't got to call us. And if you do, it's probably not a real offer. So
if y'all didn't like the tweet, it's a wrap. If y'all didn't like the tweet, that offer didn't happen. That's what we hear.
Yep.
That's how I started verifying it, Madre. If the coach liked the kid's tweet, I knew it was real. He said, "Don't come back to Georgia."
Coach, easy question. Are you guys done for 2020?
Yeah, we're done in 2020. We've shifted our focus to 2021. And we signed 3 high school kids in the fall, and then we got a couple. We signed like 4 or 5 in the spring, and yeah, we signed 5 in the spring, and we done, man. We excited about next year's team.
No doubt. Coach, we definitely appreciate your time, man. We got to get you back where you can kick it with us a little bit more. We got double headers going on today.
Man, I got to stop by the studio one of these times when we get back to opening up everything and get in. I'll come through.
For sure. We got to make it happen. Yeah. And,
as long as
yeah, we got to come to New Orleans, Coach. I want to drink Hurricanes with Locke.
Y'all go drink your Hurricanes, man. I'll make sure the Uber's lined up for them.
Yes,
that's all I need to know.
Yes, indeed. Hey, man, before we go, seriously, Coach, I just want to thank you and the staff at Tulane, what you guys have done for our state and in our state. You've always valued kids that play here, and that's important. You've given our kids in this state an opportunity not only to get a free reduced cost education, but to play the game at the next level and play at a very high level, helping those kids go on to become pros. And we definitely appreciate that. It's huge for our community. We can't understate that. It's huge for our community. We appreciate that entire staff, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. And what I'll say is too, Atlanta and Georgia in general has a basketball community that is unlike anywhere else in the country, because you got guys competing against each other. The AAU teams, the high school coaches, the scouting services, the tournaments, everybody's competing, but it's such a healthy relationship. There's no venom. I mean, it's competing, and then it's all about the kids at the end of the day. And what happens is, man, the community around Atlanta, that's what I miss the most, not being there. And even what y'all do, man, on this podcast, man, y'all give a voice to the, Georgia basketball and Atlanta basketball community. Man, I'm telling you, it's unlike anywhere in the country. And, man, I appreciate it. I know a lot of people around Georgia appreciate it.
No doubt. No doubt. Appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you.
Guys, I see you guys in the chat. Yeah, I'm getting the text messages. Yes, we have Jumaine Jones coming on next, man. It's gonna happen. The Thriller from Camilla is lined up and up next, ready to join us, and we're gonna get into it. And we're gonna blame Locke for him not being on the list. Just so you know, Locke, you got to take the fall. Be a good friend.
I didn't do the list. Blame Sean Williams. And Mark Edwards. No, them the guys that helped them do the list.
Oh, you talking about that list? The best players list.
No doubt. Coach Pardue, Georgia guy through and through, man. No doubt. We appreciate you, Coach.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Always love showing love, man, to guys that really be out here for us, man. And Coach Pardue is a guy that's out here for us, man. Guys, for everybody watching, waiting for us to do our feature players, man, we're gonna bring Jumaine Jones on first, and you'll get our feature high school players at the end of the show. But we got an NBA vet backstage, man. We're gonna let the Thriller from Camilla. We're gonna let the Thriller from Camilla do his thing, man. Here we go.
Man.
There he is. The Thriller from Camilla.
What's going on, man?
Mitchell Baker's finest.
Y'all see me all right, man? Y'all know I'm dark, man. So y'all
I know the feeling, Coach. Jumaine, I got to get my lighting a certain way. So I
Hey, man, we appreciate you for coming on, man. We had to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and get it out the way and make sure everybody gets a chance to laugh at me. I had heard of Mitchell Baker. I did, but I had no idea until like 2 weeks ago where Camilla, Georgia was, Coach. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Hey, look here, man. You're not the first person I ever heard say that, man. And you know the advice that I always tell people? I say you probably won't know where it is, man, because if you pass through the town, if you blink, then you'll miss it. But everybody knows about Albany, Georgia. So when people ask me about where's Camilla, I always say, do you know where Albany is?
I'm going to use that as my landmark.
What's your area code? Mine 229.
229. I got to use the Benny as my marker.
You have to use the Benny.
Hey, we're gonna get straight to it. So Locke put out a list.
Oh, man, I did not put that list out. I'm a part of that team, but I did not put that list out.
You put that list on?
Man, I'm a South Georgia guy.
Locke putting out.
I would have put Blackshear on the list, Jumaine.
Sean sent him a text message and asked, Locke probably just ain't mentioned you.
Hey, look, in my story, Locke put the list out. That's how my story is.
Let me tell you how it goes. That's how it goes. He sent a message to the group chat. He said, who's the top so-and-so? Well, who the best so-and-so? And people would throw out ideas. That's probably how it went. Locke probably just ain't say nothing.
And Locke didn't rip
first two names. I say Dunn and I say Jumaine.
Hey, look here, man. Everybody's entitled to their opinions, man. I respect everybody's opinion, but I just need to hear people's point on why I'm not on the list. That's all I need. I just need to hear the reason why I'm not on the list.
They don't have one.
I don't
They
need-
don't have one, man, because they just the only thing they can say is they didn't see you play. That's all they can say.
Somebody tapped Mark Edwards in. He usually on here talking. You know where to be found today.
We gotta talk about it, Coach. I want to go back to high school though, man. What of course, y'all film ain't on Huddle, Coach. Now, but y'all had some killers coming out. Y'all had some killers coming through that time. Now, Coach, what was the points per game average? Let's talk about the numbers in high school, man. What was the numbers like in high school? Let's talk about that first. Let's set the record straight.
Well, I mean, a lot of people that's on that list, man, nobody was putting up numbers I was putting up my junior and senior year first off. Because my junior year, I was averaging 28, 15, and 5. My junior year. My senior year, I'm averaging 30 something. And all of this is in 3 quarters now, so y'all don't understand what I'm telling y'all.
Hey, Jumaine, and then tell them.
This was in 3 quarters because we blew out every team we played. Anybody on our team was getting playing time because I only played 3 quarters. I had to go ahead and get my points out the way.
You should be right.
The only team that we played was giving us competition was Randolph Clay. That was for sure. I'm have to play 4 quarters to try to get a win.
And Jumaine, tell them you played for the best coach.
And even my sophomore year, I averaged 16 and 10.
Double as a sophomore.
As a sophomore.
Damn.
And my freshman year, I played 1 game of B team. I dominated that game, and my coach said, "Okay, you ain't playing B team no more." My name, Greg. I played 1 game of B team.
Bryce, you don't even know what B team is, do you?
I played one game. That was it.
Hey.
And when people are talking about the best players come out of high school, man, I don't think people understand. Like, I was top 10 at my position coming out. Top 10. We worked hard. Me, Deion Glover went to every camp that we needed to go to so we can meet up with the people that was out of our position so we can get ranked. This is what the Atlanta Celtics did for us and how much traveling we did to try to be able to rank us. This is what me and Deion Glover did all summers to meet up with players that was at our position so we can make sure we made a name for ourselves.
He already bringing me back, but I know you about to get something, Jay. He bringing me back. As a Hawks fan, I was mad that draft night they traded me. I thought we were gonna have you and Deion Glover together, and I was so mad.
Hey, I want to get to the smoke because Jumaine, you mentioned the Celtics. You mentioned the Celtics, and now the Celtics are making the claim that they are the best grassroots program of all time. I would love to understand your input on being a Celtic, and are they the best grassroots program of all time?
Coming from a player who started the Celtics, let's get that understood. Me and Deion Glover started the Celtics organization.
Let's be clear.
Let's get that understood first off. We wasn't no Celtics before us. We was the Celtics. We started out the program. So going through that experience from A1, like anybody that's Celtics players already know, like, you go through that program right there, man, you about to get somewhere.
Yeah.
That's one of the best programs you're going to ever get. They're going to put you in all the right positions to be successful, to get to what college you want to get to. Whatever it is, man, the Celtics did everything under their power to put you in a position, and it was on you to go out there and perform. They did everything they had to do on the politics side, to be honest. They put you in positions to be successful, but it was up to you to be able to perform where people see you on that level.
How good were you guys right out of the gate? I imagine very daggone good with you and Deion Glover.
Man, I tell you what, man, the story that I got from Coach McCray and Deion Glover, man, that Deion told me that, man. He said, man, Coach came to me one day. He was like, "Look here, man, Deion, I done found you some help." And he was like, what? And he was like, yes, sir. Down in South Georgia, we're gonna have to go get him every weekend down there.
That's the hype.
He worth it. And every weekend, man, they came down to South Georgia, man, picked us up. And I was practicing in Atlanta every weekend, man. 2.5 hours, 3 hours. They was coming to get me just to practice on the weekend, man. And from that day, man, it was on. But I think our practice was more competitive than the games that we played in, man. Because I think the fact that Deion Glover was a gym rat, I was a gym rat, and we motivated each other and we pushed each other so much that, like, at practices, man, I think those were our best games at practices, because everywhere we traveled, we was coming in and we was going to be in the championship. They knew it. Every city we went to, they knew that Atlanta Celtics was going to be in the finals. We just trying to figure out who we playing against.
Hey, y'all showed up to the gym asking who coming in second.
We trying to figure out who we about to play in the championship. That's it. We ain't worried about nothing else. But we worked though, man. We put in a lot of work, man. We had a coach. We had a coach by the name of Carl McCray, man, and he. I mean, we had so much confidence coming in because we had confidence in how hard we worked and how much work we put in. But to have a coach that give you much confidence that he gave you, man, just push you over to the next level. You know, and then you had Coach Prather, who was coaching beneath us at the time, but he was motivating as well. So to have those kind of coaches around that give players that already got all the confidence in the world to give you that extra confidence, man, that's the only way you could do is be successful.
And we got Chad Dollar in here watching, pushing us to talk about Georgia basketball, man. We getting there, Coach Dollar. He wants to know if you could tell us any Tubby Smith stories.
Man, the Tubby Smith story I got, man, might not be a good Tubby Smith story, but I'm gonna give you the Tubby Smith story that I came across, because a lot of people may not know this, but when I was coming out of high school, man, I was highly recruited, man. Only 2 schools in the country that didn't recruit me, and you know, coming up under Coach McDuffie down in South Georgia, man, you know, I grew up without my dad being around. So Coach McDuffie was like a father figure to me. And I was looking for another father figure. So in my mind, I was thinking like, man, I wanted to play for a black coach. And Tulane was one of the coaches that had a black coach. I went down to Tulane. I went to University of Georgia because Tubby was there. And I think there was a few other colleges that I went to that had black coaches, but I had, you know, the experience I had with Coach McDuffie, having that father figure around me, made me feel like I needed a black coach who can relate to me and who can understand, and maybe I can get that same father figure that I had in Coach McDuffie. So University of Georgia was a big eye for me because Tubby was there. In my mind, I was thinking, and Tubby did something that no other coaches did, and I don't know if I'm getting in trouble for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Every school in the country that I went to, man, had a suitcase waiting on me.
Yo!
Every school I went to had a suitcase waiting for me, and every coach promised me a starting job. One thing that I respected about Tubby Smith is that he never promised me a starting job, and he didn't have no suitcase for me. That's what set me apart from every coach, and that's why I signed with Georgia. And then prior to me signing to Georgia, somebody, I think Coach McCray was like, man, listen, Jumaine, before you think about signing with Georgia, I've been hearing that Tubby may be leaving. So me getting that from my coach, my AAU coach, I'm like, okay, well, I need to talk to Tubby. So I talked to Tubby, and I say, listen here, Tubby, man, I'm ready to sign with you guys, but I've been hearing rumors that you're leaving Georgia. And he was like, no, Jumaine, you know, I've been here, and I'm under contract. That's all I needed to hear. I'm ready to sign with Georgia at that time. I signed, with Georgia, man. 2 weeks later, Tubby left for Kentucky.
Wow.
And won the national championship that year. If he would have told me that he was going to Kentucky, I was going to Kentucky. That's the only reason I signed with Georgia. And the reason I didn't leave Georgia is because they told me I would have had to sit out of the year. The year after that, that's when they brought out, if your coach leave, you can leave.
Dang.
Wow.
So that year, Tubby won that national championship with Kentucky. And if he would have told me he was going to Kentucky, I would have been part of that.
Wow.
And you know what he told me after I met with him later? I was like, Tubby, man, why didn't you tell me you was leaving? He said, man, University of Georgia did so much to me, and the fan base and everybody hadn't had a player like you at the University of Georgia so long, and they did me so good when I was there. I felt like I owed them you, is what Tubby told me.
Wow.
And all I had to do, like, I couldn't do nothing but respect that after he told me that.
That's
You know what I
incredible.
mean? I don't know anybody else's opinion about that, but I respect the Tubby more for that. For somebody that, you know, he's been there for a while, been successful, somebody treating him well, the fan base is so excited. That means he wasn't thinking about himself.
For sure.
That's tough.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know anybody else's opinion, but I don't know if that's a good Tubby Smith story or a bad one.
Man, that's great.
I think it's great. Incredible. I think, and it's right in line, I feel like, with everything about what you hear about Tubby and the type of excellence that he is man. That's incredible. I didn't think I was gonna hear a story that good, Coach. Hey, so we are gonna be a little bit. I just gotta come out and ask, what was in the bag, Coach? What was in the suit? Look in it. What off there? We'll talk about it later.
Hey, man.
Talk about that off the show.
Hey, I tell you what, man. I come from a family, man, where when you see that kind of money, it ain't right. You know what I mean? That's where I come from, man. So when I seen that kind of money, man, I'm sitting back like, man, I'm putting my hands up like the police was in the room. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? So, I mean, and I was always that person too, man. Money never really moved me, man. To be honest, man, like money never moved me. I love what I do because I love to do it, not because of the price that I'm getting paid for it. You know, I got to enjoy whatever I'm doing in life. And I mean, that's just always been my character. So to see people bring money in front of them, that just wasn't the right move for me. That's not nothing that motivated me to come to your school, you know. And I respected Tubby, his approach. He didn't promise me anything. And a lot of people don't even know this, that Deion Glover was supposed to, me and him was supposed to sign in college together. And he was like, we were supposed to go. I signed, and he waited for a little bit. We were supposed to go to Georgia together. He was just waiting on Tubby to tell him that he had a starting position, and Tubby never did. And that's the reason he went to Tech.
Wow.
Deion was waiting on the approval that he was going to be starting. I wasn't waiting on that. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't need no approval from nobody else, man. I knew my skill level, and I knew, like, whoever was at my position was going to be in trouble.
Hey, so we got the group chat saying that you hit the 30 in your first college game. Can we confirm?
What's that?
Can we confirm that you gave Auburn that 30-piece spicy extra wet?
Hey, man, anybody that came to the UGA or anywhere on the road that I was at that I thought had a good name about their school, man, it's guaranteed they about to get a 30-piece nugget.
Hey. 30 ball, extra sweet tea.
Hey, it's guaranteed, man. Especially, man, I mean, my 2 years at Georgia, man, we had a chance to play against North Carolina both my years. I got to get the 30-piece. Kentucky, they got to get it. Who else? Man, we played against Florida when Jason Williams was there at the point guard. That's a 30 peak because he making noise over there. Anybody that I faced that was making noise or had a good name about him, I got to see 30. I got to get 30.
I love it. Talk and talk. I love it. So, man, you do your thing at Georgia. Of course, we talk about the 30 balls, and then you go on to the NBA. Man, talk to us about that whole process, man, of deciding, okay, is it time for me to leave? Is it not? And then going through that draft process.
Man, you know what, man? It was tough for me, man, because I was enjoying University of Georgia so much, man. I swear I never wanted to leave school early at all. You know what I mean? But I was getting ready to have my daughter, my oldest daughter. She about to be 20 years old. Well, she about to be 21 in August, but she go to Georgia State now. But it was like I never wanted to leave Georgia. I was having so much fun. A lot of people don't know this, but University of Georgia's top 5 party schools every year, man. I was having so much fun. I promise you, I never ever wanted to leave school. Like, and then they fired the coach that had coached me for 2 years, and then like I never thought about leaving school. I had been having agents coming at me all of my second year because I was making so much noise. Agents was coming after me, but never in my mind I was thinking to leave school at all. I'm like, man, I was like, I'm staying all 4 years at Georgia. I mean, that was my process until I met with the coach, man. Jim Herrick, man, he the one kind of forced my hand a little bit, man, because I actually was meeting with him to try to meet with him and see how, you know, where his mentality was and see if I really wanted to play for him and all that kind of stuff. So we sat down and we talked or whatever. But the only reason I left school early is because he was like, well, Jumaine, if you leave school now, you'll be pumping gas in 10 years. That was the words that Jim Herrick told me.
Wow.
And and to me, at the time, like, what my mindset was to try to play for a black coach, man, for somebody like him to tell me that, like, all that did was motivate me because I always use people's negativity and turn it into a positive. It just only made me work harder and really try to prove them wrong. Like, that was my enjoyment coming up through my whole career, to be honest, man, because people always talked about things that I couldn't do. And I was always trying to prove everybody wrong. And I think that's kind of one of the things that made me successful because I was so confident in myself. Like, once you're confident in yourself, man, you don't really need nobody else. You know what I mean? So for him to tell me that, man, that was one of the things that motivated me to leave. So I don't know if it was reverse psychology for him or what his plan was or his thought process in telling me that, but it didn't work with me. Like, from that day, man, I remember talking to D.A. Lane when I left the office, man. He was telling me, he said, man, what you gonna do? I said, I'm out. And he was like, man, you leaving me? I say, man, I'm out of here right now. I'm calling the agent right now, set up my workouts. And he was like, man, what happened in the meeting? And I was like, man, this man told me if I left school right now, I'd be pumping gas in 10 years. He said, no way he told you that. I said, that's what he told me, man. And from that day, man, I went to my workouts. The agent set everything up for me, man. And every workout I went to, man, I wrote on a piece of paper, pumping gas in 10 years and put it on the wall. So when I woke up in the morning, I could see it. That was my motivation every time I went to work out for team.
Oh.
And that was my motivation to leaving school early. And I had no thinking of leaving school early. He made me leave school early, telling me that. And then to even get to the NBA, man, to get drafted, man, I always tell people, like, you got to be mindful when you, like, how you talk to people and who you're around, man, because just so happened that I so happened to be in Philadelphia, man. My agent was having all his players work out in Philadelphia, and I just so happened to go to one of the Sixers practices, man, and I had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Larry Brown, who was a coach with the Sixers at that time. we sat down, we had a conversation for like a whole hour, man. Never thinking that I'm gonna be playing for the Sixers at all.
Yeah.
And after our conversation, he's like, man, Jumaine, you seem like a great kid, man. I really wish we had opportunity to draft you, but I know we're not. And because you expect to be a lottery pick. That's how it went, man. And then my agent called me like 2 weeks later. He said, man, I don't know what you said to Larry Brown, man, but he seemed like he been trying to move up in the draft to try to get you. And nobody's budging. Like, it's crazy how God works, man, because I was at the draft. You know, they only invite people to the draft that's supposed to be lottery picks. Right. I was invited to the draft. I had only worked out for the lottery teams. And all the boards, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Trajan Langdon screwed the whole draft up.
I remember him, the Alaskan assassin.
Nobody expected him to get drafted to the second round, and Cleveland drafted him. Cleveland was the team that's supposed to draft me. They was the 11th pick. Cleveland told me that they told me and my agent, like, listen, if Sean Marion is still around at the 11th pick, we're gonna draft him. But if he's gone, we're gonna draft you. Sean Marion went 9 to Phoenix. Cleveland had a pick coming up. I had worked out with all the threes, and I killed the workout. That's why I knew, like, okay, I'm about to get drafted.
Hey, who did you kill? Who did you kill in a workout? I gotta know. I gotta know. Who did you kill?
No, you got to think about it's all the threes.
Right.
That draft. It was James Posey, Ron Artest, Wally Zerbiak, Sean Marion. Somebody else. I can't think who else was there. Corey McGetty.
Wally and James Buckets.
Corey McGetty.
Yeah.
And I think it was one other person. Trajan Langdon was the only two that was there. He was the only two guard that was there. Nobody expected Trajan to get drafted to the second round. And they drafted Trajan Langdon at the 11th pick. Me and my agent looking around like, what's going on? Take it that all the other teams already have who they're going to try to pick. I only worked out for the lottery teams. So now I'm thinking like, man, where am I going now? I'm sitting in the green room by myself. Everybody else gone out of the green room. I'm the only one in there wondering what team's going to draft me because all the teams I worked out for was lottery teams. That's gone.
Agent sweating through his suit, wasn't he?
Sweating through my suit. I was sweating through my suit. Like, I was nervous. I was like, man, all that was in my mind. I was like, man, I should have never left school. If I knew that I wasn't going to be drafted lottery pick, every draft mock came out had me being drafted lottery. Every mock draft that came up. So Larry Brown had the Atlanta Hawks draft me so that I can be with the 76ers, man. He had been trying to get every team to take me, but they weren't willing to do the trade. And finally, when the Hawks had their pick, they was willing to do the deal at the 27th pick.
Wow.
So that's the whole thing with Larry Brown. It's funny, like me having a conversation with him and talking with him, like wanting him to be on his team.
So you get to Philly, and man, you in the NBA, like you came through basketball period during a hell of a time, man. Like college basketball was great, the NBA was great. You get drafted and you get to go play with AI. Like, what is your thoughts? Like when you first coming in, is it like, man, fuck it, I'm about to go get busy, or is you like, damn, I'm playing with AI at that point?
Well, I mean, I put so much work into my craft, man. I felt like that I was supposed to be there.
Right.
And like, I mean, from the first time I touched a basketball, man, I never missed a day out of the gym. Every day I put work in. And Deion Glover will tell you this, like, we competed so much against each other, man. We'll be in the gym all day long. So all them hours in the gym, man, I felt like it was supposed to happen, and I was supposed to be there. So I didn't feel out of place getting drafted. Like I'm supposed to be here. The thing that made me learn that how the NBA was a business was the fact that my first day at practice, man, when Larry Brown, because I always been a scorer. I'm putting up numbers. I'm putting up crazy numbers. I'm thinking they drafted me because they want me to help AI put up numbers. That's what I was thinking in my mind. So my first day at practice was like, okay, I'm gonna do what I know to do. It's score. Larry Brown came up to me that first day I was at practice. He was like, listen here, young fella, if you want to play for me, you got to find something else to do because I got a little guy on my team who's going to shoot 50 times a night.
50.
That's what my coach told me.
Go ahead and broke it down.
Imagine being a 19-year-old kid getting drafted. All you ever did was score. Now in my mind, I'm sitting here thinking like, well, what else I'm gonna do? That's what I was thinking. Like, what else am I gonna do? All I ever did was score. I'm thinking y'all drafted me to score. I led the SEC in scoring. You know what I mean? Like that's what I did was score. So to get that mind frame, luckily I had veterans on my team like Aaron McKee and Eric Snow. And guys like that to talk to me, they was like, listen, man, you're in a position now where Larry Brown, he really wants you to play defense. And I know you gifted offensively, but you got to play defense to get on the court.
Mm.
So I had to transform. Not that I couldn't play defense, but it was nothing I was ever asked to do was to play defense. And that's a difference, you know, like never having to be asked to play defense. And to be asked to that just to get on the court. So I kind of had to like transform my game at that point, man. That's why I think I survived so long. A lot of people was like, man, you hung around the league a while because I was adjustable. I adjusted my game to be able to fit whatever team that I was on, even teams that people didn't think I was going to be able to play. I adjusted my game to whatever I felt what could help me get on the basketball court. And a lot of players can't do that. A lot of players can't do other things. A lot of players do this, and if they would have told them, this is what we want you to do, man, that probably would have been their last year in the league. But I was able to transform my game to do something else because I was that versatile to be able to do other things. I just was never asked to.
Hey man, that's pretty gifted to go from being an elite scorer to being an elite defender. Like you're talking about some pretty special, like, you know what I mean? A different mindset, especially at that time. The guy that was in the league.
Entirely different. You got to have a whole different, like, to be around scorers like Kobe and AI and Paul Pierce and players like that. Your mentality got to be totally different. Their mentalities, them guys' mentality, man, is like when you're around guys like that, man, you be like, this guy confidence is just through the roof.
Yeah.
Like to be around those kind of guys, like they never think they take a bad shot. They don't. if 2 or 3 people on them, they think that maybe they just didn't follow all the way through. Like, you got to just be built different. You know, you got to be built different to have what they have, and they great for a reason, and they get paid all the money for a reason because they're different from everybody else. They don't have that same mentality. Everybody don't have the same mentality they have.
So your welcome to the league was basically, hey young fella, we know you're an elite scorer, but here, go guard this part.
That was the thing, man. I had to face like every night that I was being put on the best players. Like when I was in the league, I was always guarding the best people. And what I had to learn was like, man, these guys get paid to put the ball in the hole. Like your job is to try to make it tough on them.
Yeah.
Because there's no stopping anybody in NBA that can shoot 20, 30 times a night. my mentality was make it hard on them to catch it. If I deny and make it hard on them to catch it, I'm hoping they working so hard to get open. Once they get open, I'm hoping they too tired to make the basket, because anytime you get a score like in the NBA, man, that's what they do. They score. It's hard to guard anybody that gifted. So my whole thing is try to tire them out before they get it in. And you at their mercy once they catch it. Anybody in the league that's shooting 20 to 30 times a night, you can't guard that.
No doubt. We got the group chat going crazy. A question from the live audience wants to confirm if it was your job as a rookie to remind AI to deposit his game checks.
To do what?
Reminding AI to deposit his game checks. Was that your job as a rookie?
Man, I had plenty of jobs, but that was definitely one of my jobs as a rookie. one of my jobs was to make sure that Allen Iverson deposited his game checks, man. That's how much money AI was getting. How you get to deposit your checks? You know how much money you got to be making to forget to deposit a check?
No, I don't.
I'm taking a picture.
I'm sitting here wondering when my check gonna hit. Where's my check at? I'm looking for mine.
Man, that's gotta be a great feeling. But y'all was quickly, from the time you got drafted, it was what, second season? Y'all in the finals.
It was my second season, man, because I really didn't get to play much. My first year. Because Larry Brown was one of those veteran coaches that just didn't believe in playing rookies. You know, he felt like you need to learn the game and all that kind of stuff, man. But I still had opportunity to play here and there. But I was always that player, man. Like, the thing that I loved about Larry Brown so much, he always rewarded hard work. Like, if you showed up to work every day, man, he was going to reward you with playing time. So I always felt like, you know what I mean, with him, that I can earn some playing time. And it's crazy because I really didn't, a lot of people don't remember, like, I didn't even really play that much halfway through that second season until they made a trade, when they traded Tony Kukoc. And Larry Brown came up to me prior to the trade, and he was like, listen here, Jumaine, I wanted to have this meeting with you because I need to know that if you're ready to play, because we about to trade Tony Kukoc to Atlanta. And we need to know that if you're going to be ready to play. To me, I'm sitting out here like, am I ready to play, man? This is the opportunity I've been waiting for. Like, what do you mean, am I ready? Yes, I am ready to play. And for him to just, to have that conversation with me, man, just to me, I think that he wanted to put me in a place mentally where I can prepare. But he didn't understand, but that's the opportunity I've been waiting. That's what I have been working so hard for, just to get an opportunity. A lot of people don't understand opportunity is rare when you're playing basketball, and be able to get that opportunity, especially at the highest level that you can get it. To be able to get an opportunity is rare, man. So all I did was work hard just to get a peep at the opportunities. For him to give me that opportunity, man, I felt like I had to take full advantage of that, man, to be able to have that, man. Because I always try to explain to people all the time, like, how rare it is to even, like, high school players going to college. It's 3% chance of high school players going to Division I. 3% of all the basketball players in the world. That should let you know how rare this opportunity is. And I always try to tell college students that all the D1 players, it's only a 1% chance that y'all are going to make professional. Not telling you that to scare you, but the thing is, I'm telling you is that that's how much work you got to put in.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? You got to put that much work in to be a part of the league. It's only 450 players in the league every year. You got to put that extra work in to be a part of that elite.
450 players in the league and 60 get drafted.
It's a good group of people to be around. I'm still getting checked.
Yo, hey, that's the big boy talk that I came for. That's the big boy talk that I came for. I'm still getting checks. Hey, how is mailbox life, by the way? Hey, man, let us feel rich too, man, for a second. Tell us how good mailbox life feels, man. Walking to the mailbox, picking up that NBA check.
Hello? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Got you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, y'all. I can barely hear y'all. What you say now?
Oh man, Bryce messing with the router.
That ain't me. That ain't me.
Oh, Bryce.
I can still hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, the audio. Hello?
Yeah, Coach. Yeah, Jumaine.
We got you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all kind of muffled right now. I can barely hear y'all.
Let's see what we got. Jumaine, are you there?
Jumaine got that South Georgia. Yeah. He got that charter.
Hold on. We're going to have him come out and come back in. Hey, man, that's great. This is great. That Tubby Smith story was incredible.
It was.
Had never heard that before.
And one thing Jumaine didn't tell y'all, McDuffie is a defensive coach. They pressed the entire game. So for him to average 30 with them pressing the entire game.
Locke, was that did he play the 2 years they didn't lose?
Nah, I don't think Jumaine, I don't think he won a state.
We back. Let's see if we can hear you. We got no audio.
Yes, sir. 5 in, 5 out, coach.
We got you on picture, Jumaine, but we don't have no audio. Can you run some tests for us? Say something for us. Hey, this is the best interview. I don't care what nobody say. This is the best interview we had. Hey, can you hear us? We're going to have to come back. I'm going to have to log out again and try to log back in.
It's that media call.
I want to know what it feels like to be so rich that I don't have to cash my check. That's what I want to know what that feeling feels like. I really do.
Hey, that's rich.
Rich. And he drops he said, I'm still getting paid from it. You got to put that work in. I'm still getting paid from it. It's a level of rich that you know what I mean? That residual rich. Okay, he's trying to log back in now. South Georgia internet will not defeat the Love of the Game podcast.
Hey, y'all trying to talk about my Wi-Fi. Locke was out there early on in the show.
Hey, man, I got nervous.
Locke was out around
Hey.
Oh, here
we go.
I had to start disconnecting stuff.
y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
All right, we back now.
Hey, you was talking about that mailbox money, man. Let's I want to make sure everybody caught that.
I say, man, once you make that elite thing like the league, man, I'm still getting checks from over there. Still now.
So
I'm still getting 2K money, man. and I got lifetime And I got lifetime health insurance.
Dang.
Yo,
Yeah, boy, Diamond.
hey man, I want to make sure for those keeping score at home, if you wasn't getting 30 and 15 or 30 and 18 in high school, if you didn't lead the SEC in scoring, if you wasn't dropping 30 balls, if you wasn't in the NBA finals, if teams wasn't trying to move up to figure out how to draft you, and you not getting mailbox money from 2K to this day, you might not be ranked above Jumaine Jones. You might not be ranked above the Thriller Camilla on nobody's list, dog. That might be what we saying. If we keep a score. I don't know if y'all keep a score at home, but that's what the county is. I know what I wanted to ask too. Y'all guys can chime in with questions, dog. I got like a fully low. I still got a list of 30 more questions that I wanted to ask, but
Hey, so Jumaine, tell them how tough South Georgia basketball was back then.
Hello?
Did you hear the question?
I can't hear nothing, man.
No, I said tell them how tough South Georgia basketball was back then.
hey, look at South Georgia.
South Georgia basketball.
Hey, somebody lay hands on this internet, man. Router won't let us be great, dog. Router won't let us be great.
Hey man, I'm gonna have to play my video Sunday. I want to hear an interview, man. I'm gonna have to play my video Sunday. use my extra time for him to talk.
Right. Hey, that I do want to make sure though that he touched on some very important things, man. Like understanding what you're working for. When a coach is asking you to do something that makes you uncomfortable, still he walk into the mailbox picking up a check every day because he's willing to be versatile and do some things that was not considered his game at the time. That's powerful. Are we back?
We back?
We back.
We back. Let's go.
All right, man. What we was talking about?
Yeah, hey, tell them how tough South Georgia basketball was back then.
Hey, man, I tell you one thing, man. Like South Georgia basketball, man. I mean, the state of Georgia basketball. To be honest, man, like it's so much talent coming out of South Georgia, but just the state of Georgia, man, for real, man. It's been talent coming out of there for years, man. Just the fact that even all the players that I played against, Mark Kimbrough, Jared Braswell, Donnell Harvey, man, I can name Jamie Roberts, Dexter Hall. Man, it just a whole lot of players that came from out there South Georgia, man, that I can go on with the list. I mean, a lot of people don't even know that I'm from Florida for real, but I went to high school down in Georgia, man. From the time that I got there, man, a lot of people don't even understand. Like the only person that I really knew about coming to Georgia was Al Pinkins, and a lot of people don't even bring him up when you even have a basketball conversation because he was that much better in football.
Wow.
I mean, to me, this is the best athlete that ever came out of the state of Georgia. This man won a state championship in football, basketball, and baseball all in the same year.
Sheesh.
That's crazy.
He was the man. He was the man in all three athletes. And when you talk about basketball, he was so good in all the other sports. They don't even bring nothing about him. That's how I got my jersey retired. breaking Al Pinkins' record, the numbers that I was putting up, I broke his scoring record. That's why my jersey retired down there in Mitchell Bacon, because I broke his record. People don't even understand the numbers this man was putting up, and he ain't even in the conversation when you start talking about best players come out of Southwest Georgia.
No, it doesn't. His name never come up.
His name don't ever come up. And the numbers that I was putting up.
We gotta have these conversations. Locke ain't gonna bring them up.
In 3 different sports. and he got a kid from my first cousin.
Wow.
So that's why I knew so much about who he was.
No doubt. Hey, so I want to go, and we're gonna get to you being in the Hall of Fame. We're gonna get to those things, man. But you were on the floor or in the game for a moment that I'll never forget. Y'all playing in the finals. AI hits a step back three and walks over Tyronn Lue. Man, what are y'all saying in the locker room after that?
I mean, it really hasn't been anything different from cousin to what we've been seeing all season. To be honest, he just didn't walk over nobody. You know what I mean? Like, after seeing this man night in and night out for 2 years, that's regular. You know what I mean? Like, for AI, like, this the guy I've been around for 2 years. Like, if we hanging out the night before, man, and he see somebody that's somewhere out, man, he pissed.
Yeah.
Like, man, why is he out? And I was like, what you mean? Why is he out? The same reason you out. And he's like, and he like, but I can get 50. He can't get 50. I'm going to get 50 tomorrow. He should be home resting. And whenever he felt that way, man, about somebody being out, man, he for sure going to get 50. I used to be so excited because I know it was going to happen. Because he be that mad about somebody being out and somewhere he at when he feel like that they should be home resting to try to get a game plan to stop it, get 50.
Wow. Hey, man, the best players wired different, dog. They wired different. Why he out?
They are. Especially them kind of two guards. When you got them two guards like that with the scoring mentality, man, they built all the way different. Everything built different about them.
We got a lot of young guys, man. A lot of up and coming guys that watch our show, man. I would love to have you give them some game right now on when it comes to these guys coming through the ranks as top players and being recruited for all these different schools, man. If you could just give them some game on how to handle the pressure of being one of those type of guys.
Well, my whole thing is, man, when you going through that process, man, I think that every kid that's going through that shit goes on many visits as they possibly can to try to get that experience, to go different places, man, because you never know. Because this is like going to be one of the most important decisions that you're going to make in life. Probably the first decision that you're about to make in your career. So go on different places. Go and test out all the places, no matter, like, I know me, a lot of people had their opinions on where I was going to go. For me, my mindset at a young age was like, man, you know what, man, I'm going to go where I feel like I want to go and what makes me feel comfortable, because at the end of the day, it's my decision. And again, I can live with my mistake, but I can't live with somebody else's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if somebody else say, hey, go to school there and it don't work out, then in my mind, I don't feel like, okay, that's their fault because that's where they told me to go.
Yeah.
I can't live with somebody else's mistake. the mistake gonna have to be mine. I can be able to live with that decision that I made for myself to go there. I can live with that better than anything else, where I don't have to put the blame on nobody else but me. So when you're going through this process, I know it can be hard, but always go. You're the person that's going to school. Go where you feel comfortable, but make sure you go on as many visits as you can go on. However many the limit is, I don't know how it is now. It's been a while I've been out of sync. I don't know what the limit is, but whatever that is, max out. Go on visits on your own if you can. You know what I mean? Without the visit. Go on that on your own, visit many schools as you can, because it's an important decision. So you want to go around and experience as much as you can so you can be able to make that decision. So anybody that's in a position like that, you sit down, you listen to people's opinion, but at the end of the day, go where you feel comfortable and make sure it's your decision and not anybody else's. Because at the end of the day, you're the person that got to go to school, and you got to want to go there. You can't go there for anybody else.
No doubt.
That's the only way you're gonna be happy, and that's the only way that you can live with the decision that you made later on, and you feel better about it. So that's my opinion, man. Go on many business, make your own decision. Don't let anybody else make your decision. And just know when you're going into that situation in college, just know that the situation is going to be a lot different than high school going into college. It's not going to be like high school. They're going to ask way more from you than that high school coach asked from you. You just mentally tough and be able to prepare for that. That it's going to be worse, because the last one that you're going to have is going to be in high school.
What? So for any of these guys,
college, man, it's real deal.
For any of these guys that's thinking about being pros, man, you was able to do something that most people weren't able to do, and that's stick as a pro. It's one thing to get drafted as a pro, but it's 60 guys that get drafted every year. You were able to stick and become a vet in the league. Any advice for kids about what it really takes and what it really means to be a pro?
Well, you really got to be work, man. And this not even speaking on basketball. Oh man, anything in life that you want to do, man, you're gonna have to put that work in. Because the work that you put in is what you're gonna get out of it. And it's just not basketball. This goes with anything that you got going on. Whatever you want to do in life, you got to put that work in, and you got to want it. Because nowadays, things are so different from when I came up, and now it's the fact, like I was gym rat. All I knew was work in the gym to try to get better. All I knew was be in the gym. That's it. Now they got all these games and all this stuff going on. Like they got so many other distractions that's going on now. There's so much other things for kids to do that not pertaining to their craft. And if you're trying to be a professional in what you do, man, you got to put that work in like you want to be that. Because when you out here playing these games and playing video games and all that kind of stuff, somebody else out there getting better. You wasting time. Somebody else getting better every day while you sitting on the couch. So if you really want it and you want to be a professional, man, just know. I had a kid ask me one time, like how often do you spend in the gym? I said, man, for the first time I touched the ball, I never missed a day out of the gym. And that's the kind of dedication you got to have. You got to have that kind of dedication if you're trying to be a professional at anything. Anything. You got to love it. That's what you got to want to do. If your people trying to tell you to go there, then you ain't trying to be no professional. If somebody got to make you go do it. If somebody be like, hey, let's go get in the gym, let's go to that. Ain't nobody ever had to tell me that. I was in the gym already. I'm sitting there waiting on somebody to open the door. I'm already here. Like, oh, you already here? Yeah, I'm waiting on y'all to open up. I'm in the gym.
No doubt.
So if you really want to be a professional, then you got to think like a professional, man. You got to put that work in. Nothing ever going to be given to you. You got to put that work in like everybody else and anything else in life. Nothing going to be given to you. Because at the end of the day, once you put that work in, then it's just like it feels like normal because you know you put it in. Just like what Kobe Bryant, like the happiest I ever seen Kobe Bryant was when he retired. And you know why he was so happy? Because he gave the game everything he had.
100%. 100%.
Everything. When you can do that,
you were definitely around and in the league for some great years, man. You actually have one of the best MJ stories, man. I feel like there's only one way to end the show is with you telling us one of your MJ stories, man, about you getting your autographs, man. I think that was an incredible MJ story. Can you tell us that story before we get out of here?
Yeah, man. I was yeah, it was like I was playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers at the time, man, and Michael Jordan was coming to town. So now I'm thinking like, okay, this is last trip, like this is last go round. So I done got like 2 pair of Jordans. I done got like two Chicago Bulls jerseys, Washington Wizards jersey. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have Mike sign this after the games. So you know, we played the game, all that kind of stuff. So I called the ball boys, and I was like, listen, man, y'all go down there and tell Mike that I want him to sign my jerseys for me and the shoes and stuff. You know, because I was nervous. For real, this Mike we talking about, this Jordan, like all that glow that players be talking about, that's real. Like when you see Michael Jordan in person, man, like that's like glowing. Just think about anybody you ever looked up to in your field, whatever field it is, like the best person in your field.
Yeah.
And to actually see him and me, like Michael Jordan had a glow to him where you didn't feel like you can approach him. Like that's Jordan. So I sent the ball boys down there to go and sign it. And the ball boys come back with all the stuff. And they're like, well, he said he wants you to come down and sign. So I'm so nervous, man. I'm just about to be in here with Mike. Like, I'm about to go kick it with Mike. I'm going to go down here. Like, I was so nervous. You know, how nervous I was to go down here to actually be in front of Michael Jordan. They had ever played the game. There, man, I was like, what's up, Mike? You know, they told me that you want to get this signed. He was like, yeah, man, most people have me sign this. Most people have me sign this stuff, man, and it's not for them. So I just wanted to make sure that it was for you. And I was like, yeah, it's for me. And me and Mike sat down there, man. We sat down and talked for like an hour, man, just talking about, you know, I got all the questions. I got Mike right in front of me. You know what I mean? I'm going to ask all the questions. So we sat down and talked or whatever. And he was like, well, Jones, what are you doing after this? I said, I don't know. I normally go get something to eat and then, you know, go hang out a little bit. He said, man, let's hang out tonight. And I'm sitting there trying to act like I wasn't excited about Michael asking me to hang out with me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Mike want to hang out with me. So now I'm thinking like, well, I'm in Cleveland. Like, what the hell? I'm about to take Michael Jordan in Cleveland. Like, I'm thinking I got to take him somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, 5-star, you know what I mean? Like, I got to take him to the best spot that I know. So I was like, well, Mike, I don't know if this is the kind of spot that you like to go to, but I mean, it's a little spot that I go to or whatever. And he was like, all right, man, you know, let's go get something to eat. And then he said, matter of fact, I got to meet somebody to get something to eat. And then we'll meet up and then we'll go down there together. And I was like, all right, cool. So now I feel like I got to call the guy at the spot. I'm like, look here, man. I got Jordan with me tonight because I feel like I got to tell him that. Not just me.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, listen, man. I'm like, man, I got Jordan with me tonight. And he like, Jordan? I say, yeah, Michael Jordan. He say, the Michael Jordan? I say, yeah, the Michael Jordan. He comes with me tonight. And he was like, for real? And I was like, yeah, like, we both excited for real. I said, make sure, you know what I mean, that we stay. So I just want to let you know. So we get there, man. Half the little club roped off just for Mike. or whatever, man. And I was like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? You want something to drink? And he told me, like, yeah, man, get a Corona and get me a shot of Patron. I'm sitting up there like, yeah. Cause people, like, anybody that played, like anybody that played with me, anybody that played with me in the NBA, like my nickname is Corona Jones. Like, NBA player that played with me, or like Allen Iverson gave me Corona Jones, so to know that
he said Corona Jones.
I'm sitting up there like, wow. I drank Coronas. Like, I was so excited, like, that he drank Coronas too. Like, man, yeah. Like, I felt much better drinking Corona because, man, we sat there and we probably talked for like 2 hours, man. And like, I had all the questions about the 72 and 10 team, and you know how they approach the game and all that stuff, man. To be able to sit there just to have a conversation with Mike, man, that's probably the best experience I ever had meeting any player, man. Especially the best player that ever played game.
100%, man. Hey, Jumaine, we definitely appreciate you coming on, brother, man. This has been incredible. We got more great stories that we know what to do with, man. We appreciate you, bro. This is dope. And we're gonna make sure that Locke don't leave you off of no more lists, man.
Oh man. Jumaine, I want to do you like that, man. I stand up and let you break it. Larry, man. Antonio Haynes, Black Shield.
Right. That part.
No doubt. But we appreciate you, brother. We definitely gonna come back around and kick in, man. After this Corona stuff is over and we get back in the studio with you, we get back in the studio, we gotta have you back on the show and have you in the studio with us, man.
Hey, what's up, man? I appreciate y'all having me, man.
No doubt. Appreciate you, brother.
Georgia's finest.
That was Jumaine Jones, man. One of Georgia's finest. Hey, I don't care what nobody say, that if you drink Coronas and Patron with MJ, hey, dog, I ain't got nothing else to say, dog. You in the club drinking Coronas and Patron with MJ, dog. Like, that's GOAT level for me, dog.
That's golden.
Those, man, he gave us some stories, man. Like, those, like the Tubby Smith. We got Mike.
We got AI.
We got AI.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of, got to get him back on because I feel like we need more.
We didn't get a chance to talk about Kobe either.
Yeah.
We'll play with Kobe, man. South Georgia internet trying not to let us be great. That's sneaky, South Georgia. You know what I'm saying? All in, dog. You supposed to increase the bandwidth down there when we have people from South Georgia on a lot.
Hey man, that's media calm down there, man.
But man, yeah, definitely. Like a lot of great stories, a lot of great. And I think it's not, not to knock anybody who was on the list. We laugh, we joke about it, we play around. It's a great topic. It was great for Sean and On the Radar to do it. But this is about celebrating South Georgia basketball, man. And it was so much to talk about with Jumaine. Like, he's in the Hall of Fame, and we didn't even get to that yet.
Yeah.
I don't think he got on the list because he didn't win a state.
Maybe they just didn't. Maybe people didn't know.
No, and they didn't know. You got to think. A lot of people don't know about South Georgia basketball. They just hear the big.
Maybe they just didn't know. Like, there's probably people there that didn't win state.
It is.
Yeah, like the guys he named. I know those guys, but y'all ain't never heard those names ever. Maybe Huff have.
I was about to say, come on.
Yeah, average Joe is not gonna know those guys.
I'm an average Joe.
When it comes to Georgia, you're an average Joe.
I'm an average Joe. Man.
Yeah, a lot of great questions. We got the question here. Should have asked them who his best teammate, Kobe, Paul Pierce, AI, or Steve. There's so much stuff that we didn't trust.
Internet wouldn't allow us to.
Yeah, internet wouldn't
allow us to.
Yeah, internet wouldn't allow us to be great. And it's so much stuff.
Hey, what they call them? Corona Jones.
Corona Jones. Yeah, man.
That's my go-to when I'm out.
Jumaine could definitely have a 2-hour show. Both of those guys, man. Coach Pardue as well, with everything that they did while they were here. Definitely, both of these guys could have been full 2-hour shows, man. So we gotta circle back.
Most definitely,
guys, man, when we get a chance. So, fellas, we've been on 2 hours and 14 minutes, bro. Do we want to show any kids before we leave, man? Are y'all in the live chat waiting for us to show some players?
Man, that's what people waiting for. You can't get out of it, like, unfortunately.
I feel like they'll kill us if we try. I feel like they're geared up and ready to do it, man. Y'all want to show some kids real quick?
I might just do one and then hold my other one for
Yeah, I'm gonna just do one.
This man over here stretching like he got 5.
Hey,
I'm old and fat, Huff. Like,
who would win in a Locke? Who would win in a suicide running contest, Mondre or Huff?
You know what I got?
Huff been out there on the track with his team, but I will train every day because I hate losing to beat Huff in a suicide. You best believe that. Give me 6 weeks.
I'll need 6 weeks. I go right now.
Hey, my brain ain't gonna make it to the half court line.
Hey, hold on. How many suicides do I gotta run? 1?
Nah, bro. And it gotta be in 32 seconds. 1 in 32 seconds. Can you do that? 1 in
32 seconds? I will when we get out of quarantine.
Oh, bro, you already lost. You gotta wait till you get out of quarantine.
You might wait until him in the eating contest.
Hey, Bryce,
how many wings you can eat in 32 seconds?
Bryce, we can't hear nothing you saying, bro. You on mute.
Oh, my bad. I saw Mondre at practice last year. He was getting up and down the court with his kids. Not playing with them, but he was coaching them up and down the court.
Hey, you know did he have his baggy shorts on?
Yeah, with some huge sweatpants. Hey, and the fitted was low to the right.
Had the baggy shorts coming to his ankles.
Hey, it was low to the right. Over here, like T.I.
Hey, Bryce, we call that the Louisville lean, dog.
That's exactly. Hey, when you went back and looked at the dirt bowl, that looked like a dirt bowl outfit right there. Hey, straight from the dirt bowl.
Y'all gonna get off my city, man. But let's go, man. Let's show some kids, man. Let's let our guys out of here, man. We still got folks hanging on with us. Let's show some kids, man. Let's show some love to the city. There's guys that we're definitely expecting to be playing right now that weren't able to play and showcase their talent and ability. So let's show some highlights, man.
I'm gonna just show who's gonna go first.
It don't matter to me. I got everybody's but Locks.
Okay, well, I'm gonna Locke. How many you gonna do?
I'm just doing one.
All right, I'm gonna do my one. Dre, Peacock, Andrew.
Got you.
Man.
I saved my other one. I saved my Creekside for Sunday.
All right, here we go.
That can get you in trouble, man.
Exactly.
He good. He got offers already. He good. He got offers.
All
right. So this is my guy Andrew Peacock, 6'2" point guard. Forgot what school he's at. I can't remember. I'm losing my mind right now. He actually just got a nice write-up today on Twitter from Chris Watkins. So if you're on Twitter, you follow Chris Watkins, go check it out. Good write-up from the last camp from Sean Williams on the radar camp. He got a write-up. So per his dad and him, he has quite a few looks like Division II schools are reaching out. So he says Babson, Berry, Columbus State, Covenant, Huntington, Lincoln Memorial, West Georgia, and Young Harris have all reached out. This is actually, and this is old film too, so he's gotten a lot bigger. He's He's a legit 6'2", maybe 6'3". He's on the rim. He's playing above the rim at this point. So this is like last year, this last school season, almost a year ago at this point. So he also, and not that anybody really cares, he also was a member of Exclusive some years ago. He played with Madison and Matthew Cleveland. And this is a kid, you know, here's my thing with him. He was a kid that wanted to get better. He realized that at that point, he wasn't a starter. He maybe wasn't even a player that could be in the 6 or 7 rotation, but he wanted to work. And after practice, before games, whatever it was, he got an opportunity to ask me a question. How can I get better? He asked. So, like, for me, it made me want to coach more because I felt like he appreciated what I was doing or what I could do for him. And a lot of times kids are not appreciative, and it drains you and it burns you out and it makes you not want to do it. He is the complete opposite. He was coachable. He's like, how can I get better? How can I, like, do I need to guard Madison? Or do I need to guard, like, what do I need to do to get better? Yeah. So I constantly always in the back of my mind had something he could work on. So, you know, by the time that end of that summer came, he was ready to go. Like, I used him in big games. We played a hoop scene. We traveled. We went all over. He was ready to go. So, and that's just who he is. He's still like that. Like I said, he's gotten a lot bigger. He's playing above the rim now. So that's my one. I'll save my other one for Sunday.
Hey man, good highlight, man. I feel like if you got contacted by Lincoln Memorial, man, you can play. Yeah, ain't no question about it. If they talking to you, you can play.
I know he posted a video earlier today of like him on the playground. He's like, I can't wait to get back on the court, and he's like dunking the ball, 2 hands pulling up on the rim. So like, and that's the thing when it comes time to get back in the gym, you'll see who was putting in work.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
For sure. Y'all want me to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and go.
Cool.
Mr. Fresh Tape Line.
Where your barbershop at barbershop in Ackworth?
Right down the street from my house, actually.
You got barbers up that far?
You got it made, boy. Yeah, it's black people up there, man. What you talking about?
Yeah, man.
It's like
it's like
Madre,
we barbecue on weekends.
Madre, when the NBA start back up, just let us know because we know you're gonna have that 40-piece wing, boy, and I will be on time.
Hey, see, Locke be doing me dirty, and I'll be feeding him every time he come through, man. Come on, Locke.
Me one time, trust me, I'm not coming out there for it. I'd rather go to JR Crickets right here on South Car Drive.
Hey, Locke.
Give me some Coronas.
Locke, wait till I show you what I got. You gonna be up here, bro. Wait till I show you. Off air. I'm gonna send you a text. Off air. You'll be up here. Here we go. My kid.
Cone drill.
My kid. No stranger to tough competition. This is Brendan Rigsby from North Gwinnett High School. A really long, tough, athletic kid.
I like him. I like him.
You talking about a guy, like I said, really athletic, finishes above the rim, one hand, 2 hand, jumping off of 1 foot, jumping off 2 feet, can really shoot the ball. Super creative when you talk about finishing at the rim.
What's his classification?
What year is he?
2021.
Oh yeah. Send me his name again so I can follow him on Twitter. Sheesh.
No doubt. And played big for them in big games in North Gwinnett. Played big for them.
Oh, he's nice.
North Gwinnett had a good team this year. They got
that last highlight right there is where good block, boy. That last highlight right there is where I feel like he has improved.
Man.
I feel like
he boogieing.
He's not just athletic. Now he's getting that bag.
Yeah, I like what I see. I see. How tall is he? Is that 6'4"?
I think he's 6'2", 6'2", 6'3".
Wow.
Yeah.
Taking it to him.
Yeah, I like him.
Now, you know, there are areas for him to improve. Contact his coach, watch his film. You know, you can kind of see where he needs to improve. But I feel like his bag, that wiggle for him, has been something that has consistently improved and gotten better over time. He's gonna be a player next year. So North Gwinnett's in good hands. They're gonna
this year. He's one of the reasons that they were winning so much this year.
For sure. Kid can hoop.
So is he underrated? Do we not see a lot of write-ups on tweets on him?
Or not? For me, if you ask anybody that played him, he's not underrated.
Yeah. I don't see a lot of stuff out there on that kid, you know, but, you know, I don't know what his AAU situation is. I'm sure people are going to be yelling at me because they do know I don't, but I know, you know, from the film I've been able to watch, he's a player.
Let us know in the comments.
He can
I like that left. He between the leg cross to the left with the little hook.
Yeah.
I like that.
Super tough. I got one more that I'm going to show, but this is a quick, like, 30-second highlight. But I do want to show this one before we get out of here.
This Dave?
Nope, this is me.
You found the player?
This is not somebody. No, this ain't about finding a player. This is about showing love to people that deserve it, dog. I'm not a scout. But I do want to call out and show love to people that deserve it. So I want to show love on the women's side. This is Genesis Bryant.
Hold on, you didn't say we could do girls now.
Whoa!
Why can't we do girls?
You never said we could. We can.
No, you never said we could. I'm doing the girl. I'm doing the girl Sunday.
Madre, she already. You know where she going to school?
Yes, I'm showing love. I said she doesn't need us any help with our recruitment. She might be the best girls player in the state.
No,
they got two of them. They got two of them.
She better than my girl from Westlake.
I can't argue that. I'm not the one that can argue that.
You didn't say we could do girls though. How about that?
Well,
wait.
He was the first one to throw a 2021 kid up there too. See, he be doing his own stuff, man.
Oh, this is Lock segment. Lock set the rules for the segment.
You weren't even here when we started it.
Right.
First of all, it took you months for me to get to this segment. I've been asking for this segment last summer.
I'm cool with the girls, but I mean, dad, going. Okay.
All right, we showing girls. Okay.
What school you going to?
All right, hey, let me go ahead and show my kid.
Hey, you see how Andre's sneaky with it because he know what he playing this on 4 or 5 days ago.
What to again, Madre? Since you know everything, what school she going to?
I don't know everything, and I am not a scout, and I am not a talent evaluator. Hey, I show love to real hoopers.
What school is she going to?
Period. Showing love to real hoopers.
Corona Dre up there.
What school she's going to, huh?
She's going to NC State.
She going where?
She's going to NC State.
Okay.
Dre had her and Anaya Boyd, and Anaya Boyd's going to Georgia Tech.
She going to NC State. Yeah, she might be.
They had 2 ACC players on their team.
Sheesh.
I just show love to hoopers, dog. I feel like that's what this segment is.
Cool. I'm cool with it. I just didn't know that's what the rules were. Part of the rules.
All right. I'm about to show my kid. He's a freshman. Well, he was this past season.
Oh, we showing freshmen now, Lock? We didn't know that was the rule. We showing freshmen. Man, what? You the first one to show a freshman.
Hey, this ain't no ordinary freshman. Y'all see my screen?
No. Yes.
Y'all see my screen?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, this is Taj Johnson out of Hart County.
I like this kid.
He was at the freshman. He won 3A player of the year, freshman of the year. He was a standout in the freshman U this past season, this past August.
Taj. Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Jeffrey, man. He had reminded me, like, man, you gotta start showing your freshman kids. I was like, you're right.
I remember seeing him at camp going to high school. And I was like, yeah, he's legit.
I think he was gonna have a big summer, man. He was gonna play with TSF from what I'm hearing, from what I heard.
Yeah,
and I think he was gonna blow this summer.
Whoever he plays, he's gonna blow up.
Bam.
He's tough, man. Like
6'7" long. And Hart County had a great season. I think they lost about 7 games, went like 23-7. And if they're staying in 3A, I think they're gonna make a lot more noise next year. Bam. Look at that.
Yeah, he's big time, man.
So the freshman you, man, we stay putting them out. Bam.
That was tough.
No doubt. Good kid.
Ooh-wee.
Y'all breaking all types of rules. It's all good though.
Man, it ain't no rules. It's a podcast.
It was rules. I'm cool with it. I'm just saying, like,
hey man, pull my kid up, but 2021 kid up, Dre.
All right.
Naheem, Mass. I think I'm pronouncing his name right.
Hey, your kid following the rules, Huff. He's starting his highlight off right.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. 2021 kid from Peachtree Ridge, 6'6".
this year, you got some Peachtree Ridge kids. You got
they got pieces over there, bro. I'm telling you.
Huff. I just got a great text message about Terrence Edwards.
What he signed with? Who he signed with?
I'll tell you off the air.
All right. I think this kid, though, right here has a chance next year in his senior year to do some really big things. He was all first team all region this year, but I really think he's going to be even better next year.
That's deep.
Yeah. He's under recruited, undervalued right now, but really a really good player. Athletic, can shoot it. You know he's going to play hard playing at Peachtree Ridge.
I think I know.
Who he was going to play with this summer, Huff?
Maybe double trouble, maybe. I don't know.
Hold on, what grade is he in? What grade?
He's going to be a senior. He's 2021.
Hey, now we know what happened to the last Peachtree Ridge kid that was under recruited and undervalued. That kid gonna be a lottery pick this year. So
just saying,
we might want to stop sleeping on Peachtree Ridge.
I seen an article top 5.
That's what I'm hearing too, Lot.
Yeah, I can see that 5, 6, or 7.
I read a couple articles saying that he might be the most NBA ready guy.
He's got an NBA game
in the draft. Yeah, ready to play right away.
He's got his release on his shot. He's got a high release on his shot. He's got the length. I can see that.
We might want to stop sleeping on Peachtree Ridge.
And Florida State.
Facts. Big facts.
I don't think we're sleeping on Florida State.
I'm not.
It's still in the grand scheme.
In the grand scheme of things, people tweet out who blue bloods. I don't say Florida State. That's what I'm saying.
Blue blood is totally different. You got to realize blue bloods talks about how long people have been good, like Kansas, Kentucky, North Carolina, UCLA, based on longevity. It ain't based on who's good right now.
I'm gonna give people one thing though. I don't think Florida State is really getting their flowers when it comes to developing NBA players.
They're getting NBA
people talking about Kentucky and Duke, when to me, Florida State got number one. Florida State got just as many, I don't know the numbers, but they got quite a few NBA guys. But shit, they developing NBA guys.
I say you didn't know that they were probably all NBA guys. You know what I mean? They're good, but we knew that Kentucky is going to have it's different to me.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not giving anybody a whole lot of credit for developing Anthony Davis, but some people got Florida State developing, man, that it's insane. No knock against Duke. If y'all want to send us tickets, we'll show up. Promise. Hey man, that's our show.
Hey, I like it.
Hey man, y'all hung with us for
Y'all
2.5
boys
hours,
working.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate the guys who was locked in for these 2 hours and a half, man.
for sure. That's love. That's love. We got another great show on Sunday. Make sure y'all don't miss. Follow us on our YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on the YouTube channel. And shout out to SUV TV. Yes, sir. SUV TV, always a platform. Make sure you go like, subscribe, turn them notifications on anytime.
Hey, hey.
Freaky too.
This feel like the last dance almost. All over.
I'm telling you.
Facts.
I'm glad I'm off tomorrow.
Be sure to like, subscribe. On Sunday, we got a big show. We got James Forrest and Ryan Harrow on Sunday. We talking about Georgia Killers, man. So we
I bet Mark not gonna miss that show.
Listen. I was thinking about the top 5 dudes who have the best high school mixtapes ever. He might be in that top 5.
Top 5?
He might be
mixtape God.
You got to think about
the mixtape God.
Brandon Jennings,
John Wall,
Seven Woods. 9th grade mixtape was the best thing I seen.
Was there a jump shot in that whole mixtape though?
We are not talking about the
jump shot in the whole.
It doesn't matter. That's 3.
All right, let's talk about it.
Zion Williams.
Okay.
Nobody want to see Zion Williams dunking over them little 6 foot.
No, you missing?
No,
you're missing though. You're missing the Crime Stopper, my guy.
Okay, that's 4. So is he top 5?
Mixtapes, yes.
He might be, bro.
I say top 10.
We'll revisit.
We're gonna argue that when he come on. We're gonna see on the 31st.
I know Mark is gonna join in, so I'm gonna argue with him.
We're gonna get out of here.
Oh yeah, Marcus love it. Oh my
God. Rafael De La Ghetto is back with us.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Rafael De La Ghetto, who's back.
Yes, indeed.
Okay,
yes,
so you dropping knowledge.
That's 5 right there.
Yo, that John Wall mixtape might be number 1 though.
I got John Wall, then I got Brandon Jennings.
Brandon Jennings was a bucket. Ugh.
We're gonna argue with it about it on the 31st. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and be there. Sunday at 5 p.m. We got another set of some of the best Georgia talent with James Forrest and Ryan Harrow. Hey Huff, we wanna I think we got something important to say before we clear out, man. We wanna hit that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hit that, man. You know, we have all fun and games while we're on the show. But what's going on in our world is real serious. And I think we as coaches and people in basketball, we just coaches period. I ain't even just gonna say basketball. We can impact people, impact students, impact this world in a great way. And I just think we as coaches need to stand for justice, man. You know, we can't keep remaining quiet on things that are happening in society and not saying what's right and wrong because we want to keep it political or whatever we want to keep it. We got to stand for something, man. An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Is what ML King said, man. And I'm a true believer in that. I tweeted it out today, and it's got a lot of tweets, man. And it ain't that about the tweets, but I just think we just got to do something about what's going on. So we got to say something, man. And this is our platform right now. Love of the game. We're saying something. So coaches, we're standing for justice, man. And we're tired of this senseless act of violence happening to us, especially us as Black men. And we're going to try to empower our players to understand what's going on. So if you're with it, we're going to start trying to have some Zoom dialogues with coaches of how we can impact our players. Coach Adam Griffin over at Wesleyan. Both of us have not only taught private school, we've taught public school. We're going to try to have some Zoom so coaches jump in. Everybody that's on this platform jump in, man. And we want to try to make a change.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff, huh?
Set it off.
Happen, man.
Great tweet today. Great tweet.
For sure. That is our show. That is our show. As always, we love you guys. We appreciate you. To our SoundCloud listeners, we love and appreciate you. You guys hang in and listen all the way through, even through the highlights that you can't see visually. We love you guys. To our visitors from out of state, the guys that's listening in Texas, Maryland, all the way out to California, man. We love you guys. Our international listeners, it's always love, man. So everybody in Nigeria, everybody in South Korea and China, like we really got international guys that tune into the show all over the place. So we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Everybody make sure that you out here and stay safe and be safe, man. So until Sunday at 5 p.m. Love you guys. We out.
Yeah. Drake, make sure you come back with another fresh tape line.
No promises, Lot. No promises.
There's some ways